Hello, hello, everybody, and welcome to the VIPGT World Championship. This is round 4, our Saturday race. I am joined by Papa and Salamander. Papa, what's up?
What is up? I'm doing good. I can't wait to get tonight's races in as long as I survive the night. We got a pretty good storm that just opened up here, so
I see. Well, hopefully you do survive the night. No lightning, no thunder, no power outages. If you blink out, we'll know what happened.
yes,
We'll take you back.
exactly.
Gotcha. Sal, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing great, Tati. How are you?
I am doing what I'm doing. No, I'm good. I'm good. I'm excited. I was in the booth on Thursday for those races, so I kind of know what to expect tonight. And we're in for some good stuff. It's Le Mans. It's prototype cars at Le Mans, made for Le Mans. So this is
Yeah.
the perfect combination here. Division 2, of course, starting with the LMP ones, will be in the hypercars for Division 1. So, I mean, all good stuff here. Let's see. We have a guest for today. Our guest interview will be with Nuke, team principal of Los Matadores, and of course, Sector 7 Racing S7R. Right now, Nuke is 35th in the Drivers' Championship. The team is going 4th in the championship, doing pretty well. Nuke, how you doing, boss?
I'm doing real good. How are you guys doing tonight?
I'm great. I'm great. It's good to have you in the booth, of course. If you guys don't know, I say it every broadcast. I'm on Team Sector 7 Racing. And so I love that we're interviewing the team boss here. Nuke, I know we have a lot of questions to get to with you, but first off, you're not racing tonight, are you?
No, I raced on Thursday.
You did. You did race on Thursday. I remember you did really, really well too. Finished 6th, was it?
I did. I did. It was a comeback. I was had a little opportunity in the second chicane on the first lap, so I went all the way to the back, and so had to drive back up. But it was fun. Had a good, consistent, clean race.
You know, I've seen you have plenty of comeback races. You are quick. We all love to see it, of course. I mean, that's your performance. How about your team's performance so far in the championship? Are you happy with Los Matadores?
Oh yeah, I am. I mean, we've been a team that was put together as part of this league. So we had a bunch of individuals that joined in that were teamless. So we decided that we just pulled ourselves together. We had Oak and Slow K and War, myself, Q, um, D Rock, he's now an S7R driver, and then Rocket. So we got now we have 7 drivers. So it's like we're fighting for who's going to drive each week. So but it's been good. Been good. I mean, we've had some opportunities, with some. I think Oak, was had to leave a lobby in one race and things like that. So that's kind of hurt us a little bit. But overall, I mean, we're in the middle of the pack. I think we're poised to have a good, strong finish for the season.
Excellent. And you know what? I do
Nice.
remember Oak's unfortunate exit there, but shout out to you taking on the teamless, and giving them a place to be. Sal, I think you were about to say something.
No, I was just going to say, it's nice having in the booth here 2 different proprietors. That's always cool to see. We got the proprietor of
Right.
PhD and the proprietor of Sector 7. Um, I mean, Nuke, you already talked about, how well you guys have done for the season. Do you have any predictions on how Oak and War are going to do today for you?
Well, I think Oak's practiced strong all week. So if you've been around for any of the practice races, he's been real strong. With the physics update, though, he's been a little bit more challenged, especially in the rain. Not so much in the drive. So I'm a little anxious to see how he makes it through the rain portion. War is just one of those. He's one of the, what do we call him? Like that sixth man off the bench. He always comes in, always plays well. He's consistent. He stays out of trouble, and so I expect him to have a good race. He's been practicing hard for this week, so I expect he'll have a good race tonight.
Awesome. Awesome. Yeah, I mean, I think we always expect big things out of both those drivers and pretty much the entire Sector 7 team. So, not surprised at all to hear that you have high hopes for them today. So, Papa, you got one for
Absolutely.
them?
I do. honestly, from one proprietor to another, I just am always curious about the teams in general. What's your future look like for Sector 7 racing in general? What do you guys got planned coming in the works or?
Yeah, I mean, we're pretty active with a lot of the same series that we all run, and we're kind of running in the same circle. I can talk about something that we're working on a little bit later. We've been trying to expand ourselves into our own series more. We've got the Red Bull Junior Series that's running right now, that Hovercraft is doing. I mean, we're running, the IRO GTSC. It was really, our input to create a support series for IRO. So, and that Stig's been running that. So, running those series, as you all know, is a big effort. And, I really appreciate the all that like Stig and what Hover are doing to put those productions together and put those leagues together and run them from their perspective. So we're going to continue to dibble in this endurance element. I think what you get was what you're going to see.
Okay.
We'll still run a a series kind of like Hubbard's doing now in the background, but we're IRO GTEC, is unique, right? With the handoffs and the 6 and 12-hour races, and we're probably not going to dibble out into anything like a 24-hour run, but we definitely like what we're doing with GTSC, and we plan to continue that in some form in the future, and maybe have some races that are even a little bit longer in duration than we have now.
Awesome. Awesome. That's good news. I like to hear stuff like that.
Yeah.
Hey, so do I. As a member of the team who has not raced in a long time, I actually haven't been behind the wheel since last year. I need to get that together. In
Oh,
fact, I was supposed to be running GTSC, or not supposed to be, but I was asked to run GTSC this morning, and I said, you don't want me in there. But I'm glad to hear it will continue because I was very interested in that league. Love to hear what we're doing in the future with the team and with other people around the league. Like you said, we all run in the same circles. It's almost like we're one big league together. And S7R has been everywhere and everything. So with that said, I mean, obviously we've got two big races tonight. You got two drivers in there, Oak and War. You said that War's been pretty consistent. He's scored points every week. With Oak, he didn't miss that one race because he had to leave early. What are you expecting out of him? I don't think you've spoken to him much.
Oh, I expect Oak to win. That's the end of that. And if
Okay.
he doesn't, we'll have a different discussion at the end of the night. But no, no, he's been running great. I expect he will be definitely at the front of this field tonight, and he'll give you guys something to watch.
Definitely at the front of the field. All right, Oak, you heard it. It's been said. It's been done. It's you up front. By the way, what cars are you running today? I don't remember what you guys ran on Thursday.
We are in the Porsche.
The Porsche. Okay, got it. And then, oh yeah, you ran the Ferrari in the Division I race, right?
We did.
I don't know if this was asked in the interview, but what did you find about the Ferrari that made you guys go with that car?
Well, it was really a last minute call. It was a post update decision they made not long before the event on Thursday.
Wow.
So really between Rusty and Truth, they did the legwork on Thursday afternoon and did some testing, post update, and they jumped ship right there at the last to go with the Ferrari. So hats off to them. I know Truth had a great finish. I think he finished third, I believe, in that race.
Yep, Rusty wasn't far behind.
Yeah, so both those guys. They're both top shelf. They do their homework. They're very very engineering like as how they approach preparations for these races. So I love practicing with those guys. They're always so thorough. So they humble me on a daily basis.
Listen,
I understand that.
And we were wondering how the physics change was going to affect how these races ran. So to find out that the physics change prompted a whole car change the afternoon of the race says everything right there. Shout out to the Truth and Rusty for figuring that out. We'll see if it happens tonight. So it's almost time to let you go, Nuke. Is there anything else that you want to let VIP World know out there?
Well, we did talk a little bit about, we're all running in these same circles. So we've been working on something called the Global Racing Alliance. So we're trying to work with PHG and VIP and NRL and S7R and NVR to really create a nice, seamless calendar of events, because we all enjoy running these leagues. We're all invested in them. We've got, for VIP, we've got a full team running in VIP Div I. We've got 2 individuals that are principals on 2 different teams, and we have another driver on a 4th team. So, when we get behind a league, we try to support it, real hard. So our first goal is just to create a calendar that works with all these different leagues together, so that it maximize participation, right? We're not stepping on each other. And then once we get that down, there may be some things we can do that maybe umbrella all the different series, maybe for some type of broader championships or something like that. Maybe a little teaser there.
You know what? I'm really looking forward to that. Where will we be able to find that calendar once it's made?
Okay, yeah, we're working. We've got the core group of team owners working right now to get that populated. Once we get that done, we'll probably set. I don't know. I haven't really thought about it too bad, but it will be available for everybody to get to. Whether we make a space on all of our individual discords for it. I mean, I've already got a space set up on the Sector 7 Discord, but we'll make sure it's available to the participants and get it out there. And we intend on using the Motorsports League as a platform, and we're going to obviously use Upshift Media to the maximum extent that we're able to.
Okay, fantastic. You know what? I said it was almost time to go, but it's really not. We still got like 3 more minutes. Sal, you have any other questions for Nuke?
I don't think I have anything else. What I was going to ask you just covered with the Alliance stuff. So, no,
enough.
I think I'm good to go.
All right. What about you, Papa?
No, I guess my last thing, all I've got to say, Nuke, is I love the bobblehead figurine in your driver card here. Now that I know the background story of that thing, I love it.
Excellent. Thank the bride.
Yes.
Thank the bride. I do like it. Well, I mean, I guess I'll take it back here, Nuke. The work that you do is so much, and you actually recently asked for a hand on some things with running the team. On average, what do you think, like as far as hours go, how long do you spend every week, or how much time every week do you think you spend just doing S7R stuff, updating calendars, making deals? What is it?
Including running, because I run the time trial series that we have within Sector 7. So between the time trial series and just overall team admin, I would say about 6 to 7 hours a week, and throw that on top of my driving, a couple hours a day, try to stay tuned up. So yeah, I would say about 6 to 8 hours a week, probably, communicating with people, running my own series, just making sure, everybody's good in the community. I try to keep a finger on everybody and reaching out and just make sure everybody's healthy and happy. And if there's anything else I can do, then we'll do it.
Nice.
Got it. It's a lot of work. It's about a shift of work, and then it's not just the actual work, it's the caring, like you said, checking in on people if you haven't heard from them in a while, seeing who's around. I certainly never feel like the team isn't there for me. If I need people to talk to or game with or whatever, there always seems to be a party going on. It's amazing. Papa, I mean, you have a similar situation, obviously running Papa's House of Game. You know what? How old is Papa's House of Game? I know this is Nuke's interview, but I don't know.
Probably about 3 years now.
About 3 years. And
Yeah.
Nuke, how long you been running S7R? I know it's older than you. Not literally.
Yeah. No, it's not, definitely not older than me. We've been about a little over 4.5 years now.
4.5 years. I mean, it's amazing. Anyway, Nuke, thank you so much for joining us tonight. Again, fantastic racing on Thursday. Good luck to S7R and Los Matadores for the rest of the season. We appreciate
Yeah.
you.
Appreciate you having me. You'll have a good night.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Nuke. You too.
All right, folks. Normally we would go into qualifying at this point, but for today's round, round 4 rather, grid order is going to be set by standings. We're going to start with the team standings here. On the team championship, we're looking at Black Flag Mafia in first with 202 points. Infinite Octane and Friends 2 is in second with 205 points. In third, we got Velocity of Hunter with 186 points. In fourth, Los Matadores with 143 points. In fifth place, we're looking at Skills Issue Race Team with 141 points. Then Dented Doors behind them with 116 points. And finally, in seventh, Wheelhouse Racing has 94 points. And now, to actually set the grid, Sal, would you mind reading the Drivers' Championship points?
Certainly. So at the top of the list, we've got Kelso leading the charge with 81 points, part of Velocity of Hunter. In second, we got Sunny Empire, part of Black Flag Mafia with 65. In third, we have Oak as part of Los Matadores. And then fourth, we have Aji the Squirrel. In fifth, we have Yannick with 52 points, part of Dented Doors. P6, we have Laser Unicorn 12, part of Black Flag Mafia with 52 points. In seventh, Fishtail, part of Skill Issue Racing Team with 47. Tied with Florinota in P8 as part of Black Flag Mafia, also with 47. P9, we have Ace GT, part of Skill Issue Racing Team with 43 points. And then rounding out our top 10, we've got Justin, part of Velocity of Hunter with 42 points.
Le Mans is like a stallion, beautiful from a distance, powerful when it moves, but try to control it at full speed, and it will remind you very quickly who is actually in charge. Tonight, 7 teams come to face that beast. 1 championship, and after 3 rounds of racing, the gap between victory and defeat has never felt smaller. This is round 4 of the VIPGTWC Division II. 7 teams arrive tonight knowing that every point matters, every position, every corner, every decision. The championship battle is no longer waiting to begin. It is already here. Some teams will arrive with confidence, believing they have the pace to control the race. Others arrive with something to prove. And somewhere in the middle of this 7-team battle are the drivers who have been waiting for their moment, waiting for one opportunity to turn the entire championship upside down. Because this is endurance racing. The tires will fade, the pressure will build, the strategy will change. And when the battle reaches its final stages, it won't be about who was fastest at the beginning. It will be about who can remain standing at the end. Round 4 is where momentum can be created, where contenders can become leaders, and where one mistake can change everything. The grid is ready. The teams are ready. The drivers have one job: leave everything on the track. This is round 4, and it's coming up next.
Wow, that trailer video right there says it all. I mean, just the Le Mans, the stakes, the imagery of the vehicles, guys. Welcome to round 4, our second European stop, and the theme tonight is survive the night. Of course, we're at Le Mans. Why wouldn't we do overnight racing? So, our first race, Division 2, is 90 minutes long. 60 minutes long, rather. So, just an hour around there. And we got 3 different cars to choose from. We'll only see 2 of them tonight because of the rules. So, teams could have chosen from the Audi R18, the Porsche 919 Hybrid, or the Toyota TS050, all from the 2016 specs. However, teams have only chosen the 919 and the TS050. So we'll see a Porsche versus Toyota fight, just like the last years of, I guess, this genre of car, not genre, this formula, LMP1, such a great prototype era. I love this era. So 60-minute race. And Papa, if I could get you to please tell us who's on the grid tonight.
On the grid, we have Sunny Hayes, Hondo, Robo, Rowdy Burns, Scarlord, sorry, and Ace GT, War and Oak, F Mata, Justin, the AOJ, Chalky, Florinota, and Suddy Empire.
Thank you so much for that. That is our grid for today. And of course, again, they will be in reverse championship order. So the when we read them off in the championships, I believe it was Justin and maybe Ace GT that were going to be first and second on the grid tonight. So we'll get to see them fight from the front, trying to hold on to those positions, and we'll see others come in from the back. You know, Thursday, only a couple of drivers chose the Toyota. I think there were 3 drivers on grid that chose the Toyota, and it had an interesting way that it deployed its energy, in that it seemed to lose towards the end of the race. It had less energy to deploy from the battery than the other cars, but I think it really helped the drivers who were in the back come up to the front. So I wonder if we'll see more of that tonight with teams opting for the Toyota versus the Porsche. As we all know, Sal, every Saturday, those drivers have clearly learned from the Thursday drivers, and we see them make changes. What do you predict we'll see tonight based on Thursday's races?
Yeah, I mean, everybody's had more of a chance to, get in touch with the physics change and realize just exactly what their cars are going to do. There seemed to actually be a pretty good even match between the Porsches and the Toyotas. So I don't know that there's really a lot of gain from either one. But just seeing how they did, everybody's got a better idea of what's going to go on both with the cars, but also strategy. Just how long do the tires last? How do they perform in the rain? All that sort of stuff. So I think we'll see things a little cleaner and probably just a little bit more polished.
Okay, we'll see. We'll find out. Let's do this. We're about to start right now. So the drivers are on the grid. It will be a rolling start. So no crazy grid start going into Dunlop. Not that I would complain if we had one, but the lights will be going off soon, and we'll see Chalky the Mage here take off real fast. There it is, and he is off. Everyone behind is going to line up. We shouldn't expect to see too much action, but I do see something going on there with 5th and 6th. Did somebody get a slow start, or is that just camera? I don't know if I saw a change between Scarlord and HGT, but I believe they're on the same team, so team orders could have been in play there. I mean, Le Mans, Papa, as you know, this is a slipstream track. This is a track that's all about aerodynamics if you've got somebody to run with.
Absolutely. There are so many long straights where this slipstream can be a benefit. So, yeah, especially this backstretch that they're coming down now, being one of the big ones. So.
Definitely early on in this race here, as everyone is still together, teammate and teammate. Chalky's running alone, unfortunately, but Sunny Hayes and Hondo behind are both on the same team. And so while you want that faster driver up front to kind of tow anyone else behind along. As we head into the very first chicane here, I believe they named the chicane Daytona, or is it the second one that's Daytona?
I believe the second one is Michelin.
The second one is Michelin. Okay, got it. So then this one, I don't know, I think is Daytona Corner. Ooh, K Naranjo, and that's Oak and War teammates running alongside for a second there, but I think they've decided this is the order that we're going to run in those beautiful bull liveries, racing behind Rowdy Burns down the Mulsanne straight and into the second chicane. Who is that? That is okay, they're teammates. I don't think we got anything to worry about here from Jay Smith and F Mata. Well, I'm not sure who those are, actually. I think Jay Smith is Justin, if I'm not mistaken. Who is F Mata, Sal? All right, let's have a... All right. Cars starting to make their way through the Mulsanne corner, down the straight towards Indy. So far, no drama. A little bit of a wiggle back there. Who was that? Rowdy Burns, but he gathers it up as the front axle of that 919 gets in and gives him some grip there. There it is. At certain speeds, if I recall correctly, in this in the regulations for these cars, I think only the rear axle is powered, and then the front axle comes in. Ooh, a bit of a hip check there between War and Jay Smith. Justin making his way around a couple of cars. Rowdy Burns into Indy, but he loses out, ends up outside in the kitty litter, and he's going to lose several positions. He is now in last place. Let's see how that happened. Running down the straight here, War maybe didn't notice him there, but he's just got a bad spot there. He's not able to get on the brakes in time. He's out in the slippery stuff, and boom, right into the gravel trap there, and there's nothing he can do while everyone just drives past. So now he's heading out of Arnage towards the Porsche curves, and he's out of the slip. Chalky the Mage continues to lead 1.7 seconds between himself and Sonny and Hondo behind as they head back towards the start-finish line here, coming towards the pits and the stadium section. Of course, this track is so huge. 8.5 miles long or something like that. This is like a whole different portion of the country, it feels like, coming through here. So, whereas like the other parts of this track feel like almost like you're, you know, on a country road, right?
Right. Absolutely.
Well, and I think you are, aren't you? I do believe the Mulsanne Straight is public road, isn't it?
It is public road. You're absolutely right. Le Mans Circuit du Lac is one of the oldest continuously running tracks in the world, and it dates back to an era where there were no racetracks. There were public roads that you would decide this is a circuit, you turn back over here, and you come back and you start over again. And so yes, the Mulsanne Straight is still public road. I believe the 3 points of the track are basically running between several towns, if I recall correctly.
That's crazy.
It is.
That's how you certainly fast track from one town to the other.
100%. You just close it up, put some hay bales on the side, and tell them, all right, run as fast as you can. This iconic straight here, you can see the sense of speed that you get in this game here. We got Oak, who is catching up to Star-Lord in the slip. He's going to have to brake a little bit early into that first chicane, but yeah, that chicane didn't exist. I mean, we were running between towns in an era where cars ran on skinny tires, like horse-drawn carriage tires. Cornering was not their strong suit. So the faster you could go in a straight line, the braver you could be, the better you were. As Oak pushes Scarlett along with a little bit of a bump draft here, but he's going to pull out and see if maybe he can outbrake him into the second chicane. He cannot. Maybe just opting to stay out of the slip chicane so he can get on the brakes. Papa, are you pretty good at this track?
I'm okay at this track. The problem I have with this track is every time I'm on it, it seems to rain, which I am not good at.
But it is going to rain at Le Mans.
Yeah, right. I mean, why wouldn't it? I totally agree with that. I am not good in the rain personally, but I love this track. I love the speed. I love this technical section that they're getting into now. The Porsche curves. I mean, it's a fun track.
Absolutely. So we just saw a pass there between Oak and Scarlord. It looks like Florinoda now coming around as well. Florinoda has a half-second penalty, though, but Oak able to make the pass on Scarlord coming out of the second chicane and towards the braking zone at Arnage. Unfortunately, we just missed it here with this replay. but that was a pass for position. And now Florinota also around Scarlord, but he's gonna have to serve that penalty like right now after Arnage here, and so is not going to retain that position. I said Arnage earlier, I meant Molzon corner. Where if we could do a rundown, I want to see who's, oh, wait, before we do, some drama. F Mata lagging. I've seen some mentions in the chat about him lagging and trying to avoid battling. This is a replay here. Ooh, I thought that was a tap on War. It is not, but he's going to serve his penalty. I was kind of in the way there of Empire, Black Flag Mafia racer. So F Mata in danger of potentially being black flagged this race due to a lag issue, and that's unfortunate. I know these drivers do a lot of practice around here. There's not really anything you can do once that starts, unfortunately.
All you can do is hope it clears itself up, and that's what he's currently hoping for.
That's right. Quick rundown through the field. We got Chalky the Mage up ahead on those racing hard tires. I do believe we saw pretty much everyone on hards in that first stint on Thursday as well. Sunny Hayes is followed by Hondo in the second and third place. Two teammates still running along. They're 5.5 seconds behind Chalky now, though. They've lost him. Drobo is in fourth place here, running, I believe, alone, because where's HGT? Oh, HGT's right there. Never mind. Running alongside teammate HGT. Then you got Oak in sixth place here. He's lost his teammate War, unfortunately, running alone. Florinota behind in seventh place, who we just saw get past Scarlord, rather, serve a penalty. That's Scarlord in eighth place. In ninth, by a good 4.5 seconds, we're looking at Empire. And then right behind him in 10th is War. So far, everyone on those racing hards. F Mata in 11th. Why, did I just see got black flag for F Mata? Was that what that message was? I'm not sure. Okay, we'll see if it pops back up. Jay Smith behind him in 12th has a half-second penalty back there. And then we're looking at VIP's Rowdy Burns in 13th place and the AOJ in 14th. So, yes, F Mata, we have confirmed, does have a mechanical black flag. So that means, or mechanical flag rather. I don't know if that means he can't race anymore, if it means he absolutely cannot battle with anyone. But he can't battle. Okay, so he can still try to gain points. The race will eventually spread out. It's a big track. It's a long race. We're only 10 minutes in. Sal, I mean, what can he do to avoid battling? You just have to pick your spots, right?
Yeah, I mean, luckily there's plenty of spots on this track where there's plenty of width. On the Mulsanne straight here, you can just sort of stay out of the way. But yeah, it's just a matter of kind of picking your spots, trying to be as predictable as possible, knowing that the game is going to make you somewhat unpredictable. But yeah, there's only so much you can do. Once you get into the Porsche curves, it's kind of a matter of either making sure that you stay in front, or you may just sort of have to give up the position once somebody catches you, just to make sure that you don't cause an issue for someone else. So we'll have to see how they handle it. I'm sure if it ends up becoming an issue for the other drivers, they may have to black flag them there, like we talked about. So
that's fair enough. But you won't be able to do close racing like this battle that we're seeing here between K Naranjo and VIP HGT going through Indy and Arnage there. That was beautiful. Yeah, you can only get that close when your internet signal is doing well. But that battle ends with the serving of a penalty. We have another one here for third place between Drobo and Hondo. HGT is right there in fifth place behind them, though. There's not really very much opportunity for passing in the Porsche curves. You really don't even want to try to mess up your opponent's racing line through here either. You want to keep yours so you can stay as fast as possible. It's kind of a section of the track that you need to finesse. However, you get yourself close enough here, maybe you can make something happen into the first chicane of the racetrack pop-up.
Yeah, this is finishing up that technical section earlier, and you gotta be careful. There's only one line moving through there, unless somebody screws up and you can take advantage of it. I'm kind of keeping my eye on F Mata there. I'm not sure
Florinota going in for a dive into the chicane over Drobo, but he's not going to be able to make it happen there. It is a pretty quick chicane. Oh, he does make it happen. He comes out ahead of Florinota, maybe just got good track position there. So, sorry, ahead of Drobo. So that's Florinota up into 4th place, and now he will try to run Drobo and Hondo down. So here's Florinota. He's got the inside for the chicane on Drobo here. Drobo actually got out of it pretty well, carried good speed, but then somehow lost it. I don't know if that was just being in the wrong gear or what for Drobo. He did the chicane well. Florinota just outpaced him coming out of the corner, or you know what? That could be a difference in deployment between the Toyota and the 919 and how they deploy their energy coming out at low speeds. Wow, more
side by side chicane.
Yeah, side by side into the chicane with Drobo and K Naranjo, who's making his way back up. We got VIP Ace out there with a half-second penalty. Both Drobo and Ace GT have half-second penalties. Both are probably going to lose positions if things stay as they are right now. Those penalties will absolutely kill you. Last race, I think it was Thursday, Sal, we were seeing oh gosh, who was in the Toyota? Laser Unicorn was in the Toyota, and you know, he should have by all rights been able to outpace everyone, but he kept picking up half-second penalties here and there. Here's F Mata in last place with one. It's so easy around this track. What do drivers have to do to stay consistent and stay away from those pens?
You know, it's just not overdriving the car is probably the big thing. You know, you're trying to maintain as much speed as you can, but you got to make sure not to go wide, not to cut inside too much. It's small things, but they certainly add up. Like you mentioned, Laser Unicorn was having such a problem with it on Thursday and had so many penalties. We'll see if some of these drivers can get that cured. I wonder how much of that had to do again with the physics change, with the cars acting differently from all the practice that they had been putting in. Suddenly made it so that how they were predicting to going through a corner was just not working out the way it was supposed to. Also mentioned that what we also saw on Thursday was some great teamwork stuff. For a little while here we saw a similar type thing. Second and third we got teammates together, and we had fourth and fifth together in Drobo and Ace, but it looks like both of them have lost some positions. That team seems to be falling back. This is the perfect track for teammates to work together and to try to work their way up. Florinota, though, really on the move.
I'm going to stop you right here real quick.
Set of teammates.
Yeah, let me just real quick jump in here, because we did see some of that teamwork between Drobo desperately trying to bump draft Hondo up ahead to try and keep Florinota from splitting them. Unfortunately, that Toyota just has really long legs. He was able to drive around Florinota at least. Sorry, Hondo, even with the bump drafting happening there. So now he split them. He's in third place. K Naranjo Oak has also jumped in. He's taken fourth place. So now Hondo and Drobo, who were running so well together, have lost touch with one another, and they're being overtaken. Florinota, again, just deploying massive amounts of energy out of that Toyota. He's going to beat Sonny out of the Ford chicanes and into turn one on the track. And here comes Oak, looking to battle his way through as well. It's happening, guys. The drivers who started in the back are making their way up. Sonny Hayes holding on to his line. Oak just desperate to get around here at this point. He's going to go around the outside through the technical section of this first sector, and he's going to get it done before Tetra Rouge. Here comes Hondo, though. He's back in it. Those are two teammates. They're not going to fight, but he is following Oak's footsteps. But unfortunately, he picks up another half-second penalty. Sal, sorry to interrupt you, but I had to call that action.
No, absolutely. That a lot going on there. I'm honestly a little surprised. Oak was great talented driver here. We see as where Hondo picked up the penalty there, getting onto the Mulsanne. It was interesting that he got the passes done through the twisty bits there. You just wait till you get onto the Mulsanne, and it's usually a gimme to get a pass if you're within a quarter second of your competition. You take that slipstream and you just go right on around. That's a perfect passing zone. But he was able to get it done in the S's. They did it really clean. Those guys were side by side. That was fun to watch.
It was great to watch. It was all about Florinota there. He couldn't lose Florinota. maybe could have used the slipstream from Sonny to try and slingshot his way towards Florinoda, but he had track position. He was able to make it around them, so we'll see if he can keep up with the S7R driver, who's doing really well to get into second place here. Chalky the Mage has eked out a huge gap up front, but it's going to start shrinking, I'm pretty sure. Wow.
Yeah, you got to
Warthog
remember to
down
remind
to-
everybody that in this race, it was the reverse order grid start. So it's like, the fastest drivers throughout the season thus far started at the back. So that's why we're seeing so many people just plowing their way to the front. Chalky the Mage, though, used the free pole, power up this time, which got himself out to the front, and he seems to be making the most of it, just running away from the field.
He absolutely is. The sun is setting. It's absolutely dark on some parts of the track here as these drivers make their way towards Indy. You can just see an orange glow in the sky. We're going to start that overnight stint, and we know that rain is coming tonight. These racing hearts are starting to wear down. Papa, it's the part you don't like. Rain at Le Mans. But Papa, we got to do it. We have to do it, okay?
We got to do it. It is Le Mans. It is a requirement, I think. But yeah, this would be where I would be on edge. And I mean, and they've already been racing for what, 17 minutes now?
Uh-huh.
So I can go about 20-minute races, and then I don't know if it's my ADHD, but I start losing focus. This is where you have to stay focused. It's night. It's going to start raining. This is where you need more focus. So
This is it.
this is
We
it.
talked about focus on Thursday night, and Hovercraft had some pretty good advice. He said he set small goals for himself. So maybe in the next lap, he'll try to... Oh, sorry, I heard myself echoing there. Anyway, in the next lap, he'll try to set say 1% more fuel, or
Right.
try to set a personal best. So just small goals like that keep him focused. I personally found that regular meditation practice definitely helps because you're just able to really enter flow state really easy. Sal, do you have any sort of concentration techniques for when you're running enduros?
I probably have some subconscious ones. I don't have any conscious things that I kind of do other than just sort of get locked in, kind of, like you mentioned that flow state. Once I'm feeling it, I think I just sort of concentrate on that. But you guys are absolutely right. You totally need that, especially, you're throwing in nighttime. Not only do you need to stay focused, but it's like you have limited information in the nighttime, so it's so
Right.
easy to lose track of where you are on the track. Just trying to keep that focus going. I don't really have any tips or tricks. It's just a matter of just kind of keeping in it. Just try to keep your mind going and don't let it wander. You just have to fight that human urge to kind of let your mind kind of go when things kind of feel boring. When you're just going down. I mean, it's
Spots
weird to
like
say.
this
We're
on
going
the
down the
track.
Mulsanne at 180, which is boring. Yeah, but
Yeah, with spots like this, as you see, right? It lulls you, especially if you're already tired or something like that. I just want to point out that the stars we can see are clear in the sky, so no cloud cover yet. So that rain is coming soon. Doesn't look like, because we can see those stars clearly now as we keep going here, and might keep taking a look at the sky. We'll see how that changes over the course of the next few laps here. But yes, it's so easy at night, not knowing where you are on the track, especially a track with super long straights like this. It's incredibly simple to lose it. I'm seeing a couple penalties. One big one I see is 1 second penalty for somebody back there. Empire. So Suddy Empire with 1 second. HGT with a half second. Suddy's definitely going to lose at least one position. He's going to lose to Jay Smith if Jay Smith doesn't just take it right here anyway. HGT might be in decent shape. He's got enough space between himself and the next car back. But yeah, these penalties, you got to stay away from them around here, and it's probably worth being conservative to stay away from them. You're not going to gain more time than you lose in a penalty around here.
yeah, certainly sometimes you just sort of have to mentally dial it back a little. Instead of trying to run at 100% of what you think you can do, it's like, I just need to do like 90%. I just need to be settled in, not be pushing hard, maybe not doing my best, but doing, staying consistent. And really, when it comes to endurance racing, consistency really is the key. I mean, you get a lot more time and position out of consistency than you do out of raw speed. Now, if everybody on the track has consistency, now it comes down to speed. But as we're seeing here, drivers are still picking up penalties. There's still some of those lapses in judgment. So if you can just avoid the penalties, avoid the spins, you can work your way up.
Yeah, that is right. Now, I wanted to bring something up I just saw. So Jay Smith and Seti, as I recall, as far as I can tell, are both in the Toyota. They're in the TS050 hybrid, and I spoke about how the Toyota doesn't seem to regenerate battery power in the same way, or harvest rather, in the same way the Porsche does, at least not as efficiently. You see, we're looking at Sonny Hayes right now, who's in the Porsche. His battery is almost full. If we go back to Jay Smith and Scarlord though,
Yellow flag.
yellow flag, who spun? Oh, that's Oak. Oak is going slow. That is Oak in 9th place and now about to end up in 10th. What happened? So here's Oak, in 2nd place, and he just spins it. Where are we? We're almost
Turn 2, it
Dunlop.
looks like.
Yeah.
Yeah, ooh. That is right out of Dunlop chicane. That is not the safest return on track, for sure, but that was unfortunate, and now he's falling down all the way to 10th. He's probably going to have to try something crazy when this rain comes to try and make up that huge loss there. But that's how close the field is, though. One spin, and you go from, what was he, 3rd?
Yeah.
3rd to 10th. 3rd to 10th. Just awful situation. But back to what I was saying. Can we go to Empire's car? Oh, well, never mind. We're looking at a pass here on the Mulsanne between Jay Smith and Scarlord. Jay Smith just pulling out ahead of Scarlord. Again, that Toyota has long legs. Scarlord not going to try to make anything happen in the brakes. He pulls out of the slip there. But that is a pass for Jay Smith. Now, Empire, look at his battery. Look how little battery he has left in that Toyota. I do not remember what the differences were in how the 3 cars in this class deploy energy and harvest energy in this game. If anybody remembers, put it in the chat somewhere so I can understand what is happening between the Toyotas and the Porsches, and why the Toyotas use so much battery deployment, and why Empire in particular has not been able to harvest as much as he should. I think with the Toyota, there's a trick about being on the brakes and gas at the same time or something.
Yep.
I just don't remember.
Yeah, there's certainly some things you can do as a driver. I remember what we saw on Thursday. We were looking at, if I recall, a couple of different cars or a couple of different drivers in the same car that had vastly different power levels with their battery.
Yes.
And I suspect the same kind of thing can be done here. Although, like you mentioned, the Toyota does eat up the battery a little bit more, but there are definitely some things you can do as a driver, like either drag the brake or, coast a little bit more. Don't try to get on the throttle quite so quick. It's, again, little things that you can do that help make big impacts on your lap time.
Yeah, I mean, Florinoda, to your point, is in the same car. He's in 2nd place right now, and he's got just a little bit under half of the battery there to deploy. Let's see if maybe we can stay on with him and see what he's doing to his inputs. We'll watch when the battery is charging and when it is draining as he enters the Ford chicanes here. So he's charging on those brakes there.
You can see him really kind of feathering the throttle. I know I mentioned this in previous events. Florinoda's really kind of been sort of the tire whisperer. I've seen him run some races where he uses far less tire than some others, and I wonder if that has something to do with it. If just being smoother and doing maybe a little more coasting and maintaining momentum helps keep that battery charged as well. Maybe get a 2-for-1.
Well, it does seem to charge on coasting, which makes sense. I don't remember how the Toyotas were harvesting power back then. That was kind of what was so cool about the LMP1 era. I mean, honestly, if you ever get a chance to read those technical regulations, it truly was a class of like every manufacturer doing something different and something interesting. I think the Toyotas had like 2 MGUs, like one on the rear and front axle, which nobody else was doing. Like they had some interesting thing that they were doing with their car that no one else was doing. Porsche, the 919 has a 4-cylinder. It's a V4 though. And that is so cool. There aren't very many V4-cylinder engines ever in the history of vehicle production. But this Porsche was one, single turbo, as I recall correctly, versus the Toyota, which had a twin turbo V6 in it. Can't even remember what the Audi had. Don't ask me. But these cars were so fast and so complex and so cool. Unfortunately, it did get very expensive. Dieselgate happened, and so Audi dropped out and Porsche dropped out, and then it was just Toyota. They're the only ones who still had the budget to run in this class. We will never see its like again, but it is the grandfather, or the father rather, of the current hypercar class that we have that we'll see for the Division I drivers. But these cars were faster and cooler, quite frankly. I'm not gonna lie.
You know, I will say, now that we've been following some of these drivers, those tires are really starting to get down there. Those racing hards are really, I mean, they're like 3/4 eaten up. And I will also point out, I'm not seeing the stars. You know, so these drivers may be seeing that rain is coming, and they're just stretching these tires as long as it takes for them to finally switch on over to either the intermediates or the full wets.
That's right. Good call there. Jay Smith just made a pass on the outside of Oak there, or sorry, of Sonny Hayes there for 4th place going into Oakon Corner. That was a brilliant pass. I hope we got a replay of that. Right now, Sonny Hayes is under attack by Oak, so let's stay with them, and maybe we'll see something happen in Indy. It's hard to make a pass in Indy, but Oak is an amazing driver, and he has a lot to make up. He ended up in 10th place, so how is he now fighting back for 5th, actually? What in the speed? Jay Smith around in Indy, just got on the gas too hard. I think that's the replay.
Ouch.
We really need to see. That hurts. He has been doing a lot of work. What happened? Let's see. We're on board. We might have to run that replay again.
I think that was the pass.
Oh, this was the pass.
This was
4th.
the pass. Okay, so I think we missed Jay Smith going around, but it looked like just coming out of Indy, just got on the gas too soon, too hard maybe, and unfortunately unable to keep that car facing the right direction. Let's see where he ended up. I don't even see him on the tree anymore. Look at Florinota with a 13-second gap. That's insane. Jay Smith all the way down to 11th, Papa. What in the world?
And he's going to have to pit. I don't think he's got enough fuel to make it another lap.
Oh, looking at it, you might be right. He's probably expecting that rain. We did see the clouds come in. He might as well pit now. He doesn't have damage, but you're right. There he is going in. He's going to go ahead and get fuel. And, I mean, being on the wet tire, intermediate or full wet sooner than anyone else isn't going to help here. You know, it's not raining yet, so he's just going to have a dry lap where he's absolutely killing those tires before anyone else jumps in to take their own inters. We do think rain is coming. Unfortunately, we can't see the radar, so we can't see.
We did see that Sonny Hayes also jumped in, and the two of them only had 5% and 6% fuel left, so they definitely ate up some fuel. And as we're on with Hondo here, we see that his fuel gauge is in the red as well. So some of these drivers may have to stretch it just a little bit to make it around this lap in order to make it to the rain tires. I'll be interested to see what our two pitted drivers have come out on. If they've come out on the inters, I suspect they have, or if they've gone to another racing set.
It wouldn't make sense to go to another racing set. It just can't. I mean, these drivers know that the rain is coming. To your point, we haven't been able to see the clouds or the stars for a couple of laps here. So yeah, Hondo's going to have to stretch this. Oak is right behind him, probably also trying to stretch what he's got. He's got a half-second penalty anyway, so he's going to eat up a lot of fuel accelerating out of that penalty zone, and maybe going ahead and stopping. I see windshield wipers going on for Jay Smith.
Full wet tires too.
For Jay Smith. Okay, and the wipers are also on for the AOJ. Rowdy Burns is in as well.
If I remember on Thursday when the rain came in, the track got wet pretty fast. So
did Rowdy mean to take mediums? The AOG rather came out on mediums. I don't think he meant to do that.
We will see if he pits at the end of this lap.
Yeah,
Right.
gonna have to pit again. There's such a big penalty pitting here. Oof, it's so long, which is why it matters guessing it correctly, right? Chalky goes
Got
back.
his
Tires,
Those
Look
cars
at
are
his fuel.
done
tires
on
and
Chalky's
fuel.
car. Yep, and fuel. Oh, Chalky's not in good shape here. He still hasn't even gotten to Indy. Did he mean to?
We're seeing rain on the rain meter.
We got a little wetness on the rain meter. Good call there. It's getting a little wet out there, and he's still got a little ways to go before he gets to. Oh, look! You can see those front tires are absolutely not biting for him through the Porsche curves here. He's actually further on than I thought. I thought he was not an Indy yet. He's in the Porsche curves. He's probably going to make it into the pits. It's not a problem. He's just got a couple more turns before he gets there, but that front end has no more bite left in it. He's just barely making those corners. And he is going to dive in right now for a change of tires and fuel in that car. You can see raindrops there falling in front of the lights. Florinoda will probably come in here as well. He's on the racing hards.
He's out of fuel.
0% fuel.
He's out of fuel. Florinoda is out of fuel before getting to the pits. I mean, they're right here, but that is so slow. Florinoda was fighting real hard to come in from the back. He's in second place, but he has been coasting for the last at least 10-15 seconds, pardon my language, and that's not good. You can see two other cars come in right behind him. Hondo and Oak came in right behind him, and he used to have a 13-second gap on them. That's all gone now. Absolutely gone. Everyone's gonna dive in now. Starting to rain harder. Sorry, Sal, you trying to say something?
I was just saying everybody's tires are totally dead, and you look at all these drivers that are in there at 0%, 2%, 4% fuel.
That's right.
I mean, they were stretching it as far as they could.
That's right. That's right. Same thing on Thursday is what we saw. Folks on the hards. Who is
Ace.
that?
Ace is out.
That somebody else on out of fuel? Yep.
Ace
Ace is he's still in the Porsche curves.
I think I just saw a yellow car that was coasting as well. Who was that? Maybe F Mata coasting into the pits. No, he's got 1%. ACT.
We did not see these cars running out of fuel on Thursday.
Not
this
at
is
all.
different.
Yeah, nobody ran out of fuel on Thursday that I know of. So I don't know what changed in this race, or if it's just that the rain came a little later than expected. No, we expected it on lap 9. It came on lap 9, I believe, and that's when we expected it on Thursday. So gross mixed calculation. Maybe some folks who didn't get to do any practice after the fifth exchange. That's the pass. Sonny passed him for 10th place. Oh, HGT is kicking himself. Here's Jay Smith. On those full wets, he pitted earlier, as we recall. He had some damage to take care of, or sorry, he was running out of fuel. He jumped in, took the full wets. They're already halfway done in the front. He's only done one lap.
Well, here comes the AOJ. He's going to have to come in for a second time here.
Yep,
after accidentally putting on those racing mediums. Here he comes.
He's lucky he survived the lap. It's up to that first line where you would have to take inters, and wow, the rain, this has completely changed a lot for a lot of drivers. It's completely different from what we saw on Thursday night here. Maybe these drivers didn't get a chance to practice with the new physics change, because how could you be running out of fuel?
Yeah, that's crazy. I mean, usually at this level, you don't see that happening, but the fact that a number of drivers all were running out, there's something we're not seeing.
There is something we're not seeing, because you're right. Normally we wouldn't see that. What we do see here is Oak with another half-second penalty. Oak, who's made his way back into third place here. He's racing right behind Florinoda. We saw run out of fuel, and that's what's got Oak right behind him. But that half-second penalty is going to hurt, and it's the second, maybe third time we've seen Oak with a penalty. He has got to find it. Got to stop hitting those penalties. It's usually in that first sector, though, headed through the S's and into Tetra Rouge. They've got to find where to set themselves up. Ooh, Florinoda with a bad second chicane there, does not get through very well. I think Oak was taking a little bit of a wet line there, and Florinoda not quite there.
He avoided the pen somehow, though, so must have lifted.
We'll watch it here. Oh, we missed most of it, but that's him cutting the chicane in half pretty much there. Oak with nowhere to go. He's not able to get around him. But Florinoda, ooh, he's going to have to do better there. He still got Oak right on him coming out of that second chicane there, or coming out of Mulzon corner. And who's that behind him? Hondo? He doesn't seem that far behind,
Yeah.
so.
I think he's about 3.5, 4 seconds back. So Oak should still be safe to not lose a position. You know, he may be, strategically trying to stay behind Florinota, get that extra toe just to stay ahead of Hondo and not lose a position when they get to that point.
Might be, and we see that rain meter is up into the full wet territory, and Oak having a really hard time going into and out of Indy. Actually, that was pretty weird. He managed to hold on to it and not lose much time behind Florinota. He will, of course, serve his penalty here as we pass those yellow penalty zone flags. That will bring Hondo a little bit closer to him, but doesn't ultimately kill him. Yep, right there on the throttle, just a little soon for it. Again, these cars will eventually give you all-wheel drive, but not so soon out of the corner. Look at this excruciating slow through the Porsche curves in all this wet weather. I'm with you, Papa. I'm not good at driving in the rain in this game, mostly because I don't. Ooh, Empire with a little wall tap there. But this is, Papa, we're in full wet territory. Some people are on inter.
And Hayes.
Everybody's hitting the wall.
Yeah.
Just
No damage, though.
No damage. I think some of them are just, maybe it just looks like they're touching it, but certainly a couple of them absolutely did touch that wall there. It's slippery out there.
Yeah, and the one thing I really want to point out is through all those pit cycles and the fuel issues and the tire issues, Chalky the Mage has pulled out to quite an extensive lead through all of that. He definitely was able to take advantage of it.
So Chalky, somewhat of a Le Mans whisperer, it seems here, and took advantage of that pole jump there. Probably knew this was the race for it. So well done, Chalky. 22 minutes left to go. Actually, just got to hold on to it for that long. Florinota was getting closer, but now it's 22 seconds back. 22 seconds back because of running out of fuel, mostly because of running out of fuel. But Chalky is still pulling out more time on him. Chalky, of course, has a lot of battery left to deploy, and Florinota, from what I saw, is going to need to do a lot of lifting and coasting to try and regen some power into that Toyota unit there.
Which he really can't afford to do with Oak being right behind him. He's got the pressure. He's got to keep going.
He really can't. He really can't. I wish I could research more about the Toyota, and I should have before this race. What I remember was the Porsche would harvest power even on throttle because they had like a turbine behind the turbo.
Oh.
Oak with another pen.
Oak with another half-second pen. Dang, Oak. Come on, we got to get there. I'm sorry. So excited. Sorry. Oak's a friend. But another half-second penalty for Oak. We gotta get in his ear. Somebody get in the PSN party with him. Tell him, hey, lock in, bro. No, the Porsche for sure harvested power behind the turbo. I know that. I don't know if the Toyota had anything like it or if it only harvested on brakes and coasting. That might be part of the difference in why the Porsche's battery stays full even throughout a lap here at Le Mans, where you're really not coasting or harvesting very much at all, and the Toyota is not able to. But again, that Toyota deploys a ton of power through both axles. I know that much.
Hondo's got some front end damage here.
Hondo, yes, Hondo does has front end damage. I don't know how he got that, but that's gonna make him slow. But it makes sense to wait until you see that dry line and you want to get off of those inters before pitting. I think you just got to live with it right now. Everyone's going slow, so
yeah,
you know.
But it explains why he's not right behind Oak and Florinota now.
That's true. He's got Empire right behind him, who's probably going to easily make a pass unless he's back there saving fuel. Scarlord with a half-second penalty behind him in 6th place. You know what? Why don't we do a rundown so we can see what order everyone's in after that pit stop a couple laps ago? We probably should have did that. We got Chalky up front, of course. And we got Florinota in 2nd place behind him by 19 seconds. He's regained some time. Oak, who just served a half-second penalty in 3rd. Hondo in 4th place. Empire in 5th place. Scarlord serving a pen in 6th, who might not lose to 7th place Drobo, who had his own penalty to serve. Sunny in 8th place, then War, who's made his way up into 9th. Is that the sun starting to come up in the background?
Looks that way.
Sky is lightning, yes. Jay Smith in 10th. Ooh, F Mata struggling through Arnage in 11th back there. 2 teammates, as I recall. And then Rowdy Burns in 12th place. The AOJ in 13th. We had to take a second pit stop, unfortunately. And then we're going to have Ace GT in dead last with a half-second penalty, who spent the whole of the last stint, or the last sector out of fuel and just coasting towards the line. What a just really, really bad break there for Ace GT, unfortunately. Well, things are looking very different up front from where we started this race, right? Minus Chalky.
Yeah.
Minus Chalky. We had Hondo and Sunny Hayes, who were running 2nd and 3rd at first. Now they're now running 5th and 8th. Florinoda, I can't remember where he started, but it was way in the back, as was Oak. They're up front there in that top 3. Jobo with a half-second as well. It just keeps happening. The sun definitely is coming up. This is the part of Le Mans that drivers love. This is the part where you realize you did survive the night, and you just kind of look around and see who's still actually racing.
Well, and you look at the racing surface, you can see that there's a bit of a line forming. It's not quite as wet in the middle. So the track, it's still got a ways to go to dry out, but it's starting to dry out. That's kind of the beauty of, this, technically being a video game, is we get to watch it downpour and then dry out within, 10, 15 minutes.
Within just a few minutes, that's right. I think time is set to, 6x in this race or something like that. It's pretty high as far as the time progression goes in this particular race. So it'll be a matter of who is willing to take the chance and jump in and get on some slick tires to see if they can go faster on that dry line. Right now, to your point, it is still up above the first line on the Rowdy Burns in. Is Rowdy gonna jump to a slick tire? Maybe.
That would be really dangerous.
It would be dangerous.
Bold.
And bold. Racing mediums for Rowdy Burns.
We did see Ace make his lap on those mediums while it was when the rain started, so we know it's possible.
Yeah, it looks like on the racing line, it is just above that first line.
Yeah.
Yes, just above the first line on the racing line, coming out of the pits. Pit lane was still very slippery, so good not to spin there. But Rowdy Burns is carefully picking his way around the track, and hopefully we'll get just one really fast outlap here that gains him some time, or even a position or two. We'll see.
And it's one thing with the game is that even when the rain meter is just above that first line, you can run the racing slicks. It's once it gets about a third of the way up there is when it really starts to affect you. So Rowdy may be safe as long as he stays on the racing line. The really tricky part he has here is he only really has one line to go around the entire track. He's not free to explore the track at all. He's not able to maximize track or his lap time. So although he's on a faster tire, the restrictions that he has to put himself in to make sure he doesn't go off into the wet is probably still going to be affecting his time. But at least he's got his pit stop out of the way.
And he will still be faster than an inter, or certainly a full wet tire, even being careful with this racing medium here. And with it being a little wet, he has opportunities to try to pull that tire down. Looks like he's not taking them, as he's still trying to get it into the temperature anyway. But I think he's made a good move here. He's done well.
I think he was far enough back in the pack to make that move.
Yep.
When you've got an entire field of cars ahead of you drying the track out, the driver in last place naturally has a drier track than the driver in first place. So this is probably a strategy that only he and maybe a couple of the other drivers in the very back could have even attempted.
Exactly.
And he took a shot at it, trying to get himself out of P14. Let's see if he's able to keep it on the track. Chalky stays out another lap.
So Chalky stayed out for another lap. Everyone else behind Chalky is going to get on slick tires. I am not sure why Chalky made that decision, actually. He's going to be slower.
Probably because of his lead.
Scarlord and Drobo are also, and War are also staying out on those inters, maybe not quite trusting that it's time to jump on a slick tire, but we've only got 13-14 minutes left. Most tires can make it to the end here, so those drivers have put themselves on the back foot. I mean, lead or not, if everyone behind you pitted, then there's not much to be said about your lead, right? Doesn't matter.
You know, I will say that Chalky is still able to drive the entire track. You know, he can use up the curbs. You know, he has the ability to still maximize his speed. So although he's on a slower tire, he may still be able to maintain a similar pace. And because
Ooh,
the
yep.
size,
That's
and Oak goes around,
Yep, Oak goes
another
around and
spin.
Tetra
Stay off those curves.
went off into the curve around the outside of Tetra Rouge where it's wet and got on the throttle doing that while still on the racing medium. I watched it happening and I was like, he's about to go around. Yep, he's on the gas, feathering it there, but that's just not, you can't be on the gas if you're going to be on the curve. So, oh, unfortunately, another huge spin. He's got damage on the front of that car. He's going to want to pit to fix it. And those are Oak's hopes at the podium dashed here. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's too late now to be able to do all that catch up. I mean, Oak's a great driver and he's driven through the field twice now, but with likely only 3.5 laps to go, probably going to keep him off the podium, especially with damage.
See Drobo running through the puddles there, trying to keep those inters cool as he runs another lap. I wonder, he's not going to try to take it to the end of the race, of course, but still trying to make sure they're not too worn out, it looks like. Florinoda is on those mediums. War and I think Drobo ahead still need to pit. I believe Scarlord also stayed out, correct?
Yeah, the top four all have stayed out and are, you know, it'd be interesting. You know, Chalky with a 39-second lead over Florinoda could potentially try to just take it to the end. You know, if he stay, on the long straights and through the corners, if he stays on the wet line, he could probably make it last, but it would be tough. I would imagine he's probably going to come in at the end here, at the end of this lap, but he's played it safe. You know, with the lead he had and the fact that he can still cool his tires given the track condition, that one extra lap just to make sure that the track dries out a bit more so that it's safer when he comes back out, I think is a good move.
Yep, and he'll have a little rubber left on, a little more left on his slick tires towards the end if it does come down to a battle, as we see War doing the same, trying to cool those tires down as much as he can heading into the Porsche curves. But I don't think he can make this, I don't think Chalky wants to risk trying to make this last. That sun is shining bright. It's going to dry up all the wet parts of the track, and there's Chalky in now. So I don't know what the pit delta is, but I think he doesn't need fuel. So if he's just taking tires, he might just make it out ahead of Florinoda, who's being held up by War here. So this is actually working out for Chalky because Florinoda now has to travel through the Porsche curves in this last section at intermediate pace, and he is playing with those wet curves when he really shouldn't. There's War. He's going to dive in here. Florinoda is going to get around him. War did a fantastic job of just not giving in to him. Chalky coming out of his pit stall now. He is going to get out well ahead of Florinoda on a fresh set of racing mediums. And that is Chalky absolutely dominating this race with strategy and pace. Wow.
Yep. Well done.
Well done. Florinoda has 10 minutes to catch him. What was that gap when he came out?
I think it was at 20 seconds, but it was coming down. Looks like it's leveled off at about 11 seconds. But they're on the same tire. I mean, Chalky's going to have one lap better as far as the wear goes, but I don't think any of these drivers have to worry about them wearing out by the end since they've only got about 3 laps to go.
Right. Well, tire wear is high for sure. So you still want to, if there's a chance that you're going to be in a battle for a position towards the end of this, you still want to be nice to those mediums. But yeah, they're not going to get down to like where we saw the hards for sure. Here's Oak in 6th place, and you see him keeping that throttle steady on those curves that time.
Almost Groundhog Day there.
Yeah, definitely learned his lesson there. He's still running with that front end damage. He's going to opt to just stay with it, and it's going to keep him from catching up to Scarlord here. Even in the slipstream, Scarlord will help him, but he may end up losing a position to Sunny Hayes running behind him on the same tires. No damage. Drobo, same situation here. Oak is not necessarily safe, unfortunately. Unfortunately. So there's F Mata, who seems to have his internet connection is definitely stabilized. Still a little bit of lag there, as we can see him running behind War, so probably still can't battle, but it was a lot worse in the opening stint of this race.
Right, it was, yeah.
Yeah, he was all over the place. Oof. This
I mean,
is
you got to give it to Oak, though. 2 spins, multiple penalties, and he's still up there fighting with damage, still fighting for 5th.
still fighting for 5th, still top 10. Yeah, potentially top 5. I mean, the guy is fast. You know, you really can't deny that. Nuke said he expected Oak to win, and I believe Oak had the pace to win. I think he did. I think the penalties were keeping him out of the win, and then of course the 2 big spins. At this point, Chalky is way too far up the road for him to have a chance here. But man, that's what at this level, Sal, right? Everybody is fast. It's gonna come down to whether or not you're making mistakes. Are you racing smart?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we saw it in one of the races yesterday. I think it might have been the Division I race where, yeah, it was VIPGTWC had like an 8-second lead going into the last lap and a half.
That's right. That's
Well,
right.
Technical glitch. But
Hey, just a reminder that we are Upshift Media, and as a matter of fact, hey, hit the like button, subscribe. If you are watching on a different channel, we love you. Please go to the Upshift Media channel, like, subscribe. If you want to help us continue putting this this kind of production on for these races, please donate as well. You can find links to do that either on our channel, or every now and then you'll see a QR code pop up on the bottom left of your screen. Since we're plugging Upshift Media, only 7 minutes left to go. Jay Smith just put a message in. Lost feedback in my wheel. Ooh,
No.
I've been there. I'm looking at the culprit right now, actually. My T300 RS was a fantastic wheel, but oh, who's that? That's Oak going out a bit wide. I think that's a penalty when you go out there, unless
I think so.
it might be one of those where if you lift it off the throttle, if you stay off the throttle, you can avoid a pen. He definitely went wide.
Oh, he's on the throttle.
We come back to him up to see if he ended up getting a pen.
Double down on that throttle.
Yeah, he did.
He did get one.
Half-second penalty there. Jay Smith probably struggling without that feedback. I know what it feels like. My T300 RS, as it got older, eventually stopped being able to effectively cool itself, and you get towards the end of a race, and the motor will just stop giving you feedback because it's getting hot. Papa, have you ever had that happen? Can you speak to how difficult it is to continue to be fast when your wheel isn't pushing against you?
Yes, I have had that happen. But it was just a wire connection. I didn't have it. It wasn't an overheating issue, but it is weird where suddenly you have feedback going to the next turn and you have nothing. It's so easy to oversteer those first few turns until you do the best that you can, but at least you know it.
That's right.
Yeah, man.
Well, it's probably even worse being an endurance race. I mean, he's been running for 50 minutes, feeling it a certain way, really getting that muscle memory down, and to suddenly have it change for the last 5 minutes has got to be just really throwing you for a loop.
100%, that muscle memory there. We just saw Oak with a 1-second penalty, by the way, and I hadn't noticed Scarlord's on the racing soft. Scarlord trying to maximize whatever he can get towards the end of the race here. I noticed him running in the wet a little bit, and I think it's just to keep those softs lasting. Here it comes, Scarlord, by the way, looking for a pass on Hondo. He got a great exit out of the first chicane, and he's running alongside, trying to get a side draft, dumping air all over that front splitter of Hondo's car, but Hondo not giving it up so easy as they head towards Mulsanne corner. And Scarlord staying with it around the outside in the Mulsanne corner, absolutely refusing to give it up. They will continue to run side by side. This looks like a fast and furious race. Somebody grab 16th gear. Let's go. Let's see what happens.
He needs to
in
push the
Lord
pedal to the
King
floor.
here.
That's all he needs to do.
He just needs to push the pedal closer to the floor. That's it. Just that one last bit of pedal travel. Hondo has the better track position going into Indy. Did he outbrake himself? Scarlord, of course, playing it safe, looking for a good exit there. Hondo does fantastically here. Scarlord, again, breaks a little bit early. Will look for a better exit out of Arnage to see if maybe he could drive around Hondo heading into the Porsche curves. VIP Scarlord trying everything he can to pick up that 4th position, and Hondo working really hard to keep what he's got. We have 3 minutes, 41 seconds left. That means only one more lap for these two drivers. Can Hondo hold Scarlord off? Can Scarlord's racing softs last another dry lap around here? We'll find out, but so far Hondo hanging on to it.
I think these Porsche curves are really the spot where having those racing softs are going to be an advantage, but we don't see him closing in. He's not quite able to get it pulled in. I think with only a lap to go, I think those racing softs are going to hang on, but he's got to make something happen soon.
He has to make a move either in one of these chicanes here. He's not close enough to do that, or it will have to be a chicane on the Mulsanne straight. He's going to have to outbrake Hondo, potentially try to get out of a corner faster than Hondo before those things wear out. And in the Porsche curves, yes, he can go faster, but you can't pass in Porsche. There's nowhere, you're not really braking there, and the dirty air will keep you from closing in and getting close, unfortunately. So his opportunity will come after Tetra Rouge. Unless he can make it happen somewhere through here, through this technical section, maybe into the S's and Tetra Rouge, but Hondo can just make that a really, really big Porsche 919 hybrid.
Well, he may just be playing the patience game. Maybe he's using his racing softs just to stay on his bumper and wait. Oh, he goes really wide.
That's going to be a huge penalty there for him, unfortunately, and that means no matter what he does in this lap, he will likely lose that position to Hondo. So here we are going through the S's here, and I think what happens, he's just got a bad line through there. He lifts late, dirty air definitely kept him from turning around, and it's wet out there. He had to be careful. There was a lot going on.
I think he was trying to do kind of exactly what I was trying to say. I think he was trying to just stay on his bumper and then get around him as they get onto the Mulsanne. But now that they both have penalties, that's nullified.
Yes, it is. So we got the better exit out of Tetra Rouge because, again, he got to take that wider line, to be fair. And Hondo, I don't see where Hondo picked up his penalty, possibly in the same place because he's already got it here by the time we get to the first chicane. And so that Scarlord, having made that pass and gotten really lucky, that Hondo also picked up the same exact penalty. And once you serve that penalty, there's nowhere Hondo can make a pass unless he takes a dive into the forward chicanes. Coming back up front, that was Florinoda that we just saw there in second place behind Chalky. He's not going to be able to get him. Empire, his teammate, is in third place. I didn't even see Empire getting up there. Here's Scarlord and Hondo, of course, to head down towards Mulsanne corner.
I think now that Scarlord's ahead, I don't know that Honda's going to have the ability to get past. Scarlord's going to have more grip through these corners.
Correct.
The only way to get through would be to outbrake or to be able to just get under and carry more speed through a corner. That's going to be really hard to do with a lesser tire.
It is going to be very difficult to do. I don't think he's going to be able to pull it off, but he is closing in on him here in the slipstream, and he's got the lesser tire, but Scarlord's tires, don't have as much as Scarlord into some of the wet stuff there. He is lucky to hold on to it. I thought we were going to see him slide out from lack of grip on those right side tires, but
that took my breath away.
Onto it. Right. Both drivers will serve their half-second penalty here, which basically nullifies everything. The battle remains the same. They're in the same car, so they'll have mostly the same acceleration out of that penalty zone as well. Here's Chalky the Mage. 4 more corners to go. 4 chicanes. That's 1. That's 2. Number 3 and number 4. He will cross the line. Our winner, our pole position driver and winner, Chalky the Mage, with the most points. Florinoda, who tried his absolute best to catch him, ran out of fuel. He will cross the line in second place for Black Flag Media Racing, Black Flag Mafia rather. Empire will now cross in 7th. Those beautiful John Player special liveries, reminiscent of the John Player special Formula 1 cars, and I think there were a couple of prototypes, maybe a Can-Am car. Scarlord into 4th, followed by
Look at those tires.
Hondo. A great battle between those two. Oak will finish in 6th place. What could have been for Oak. Unfortunately, he will not see the podium or even the top 5. He's going to finish in 6th place. Drobo, almost said Hondo. Drobo will now cross in 7th, flashing those lights. Hello, Drobo. War with Los Matadores will finish in 8th place. Sunny Hayes, now it's his turn through the Ford chicane, and he will finish this race in 9th. He ran up front for a good bit. F Mata's internet connection has gone back to what it was, but the Velocity Hunter driver will cross
No
that
tires.
line. Top
No
10.
tires and rear
No
damage.
tires. He was also on the racing sauce. I didn't see that. Yep, rear damage. Ooh, a
Battle
bit of
for
a
P11.
fight battle between Jay Smith and the AOJ for the final few corners. Can Jay Smith hang
Also
on?
on softs.
I think he can. He is on softs. The AOJ behind him will not be able to beat him to the line, but it was really close with the AOJ right behind him. Wow, fantastic finish for those two drivers. And then Rowdy Burns is way down in 13th place. He is still going through the Porsche curves, but he's almost there, and he will take 13th. Oh, HGT is still back there in 14th. I kind of forgot. HGT was running real well. Then he ran out of fuel.
Ran out of fuel.
Yeah. Ran out of fuel right before the rain. So Rowdy Burns into 13th place for his team, and HGT now running through those final corners of the Porsche curves and into the chicanes himself. Gosh, Ace, I hate to give you the boring golf voice, but Ace will now cross the line in 14th place. Golf clap.
Golf clap.
What a race.
What a race. Some unexpected
yeah.
stuff there. Man, that was crazy. Oh, Ace has a hand injury. He cut his hands a few days ago. Oh, that's tough to then jump into an endurance race for sure. Poor Ace. Well, here we are. Sal, do you mind reading our race results?
Absolutely. P1 from pole position to the end. We had Chalky the Mage in the 919 taking the win in this Division II race. S7R's Florinota takes it in P2 with the TSO 50. Toyota Empire P3 rounding out our podium, also in the Toyota. VIP Scarlord taking home P4 in the 919. Hondo P5. Oak with a race of what could have been finishing in P6. Drobo finishing it off in P7. War in P8. Then P9, we had Sunny Hayes. P10, F Mata, who seemed to be able to get the internet under control and finish in the top 10. Well done. P11, we got Jay Smith. P12, the AOJ. P13, VIP Rowdy Burns. And P14, VIP Ace GT.
Thank you so much for that. Man, this was an incredible race, Papa. We definitely saw some battling, and we saw some bad times in the rain.
Yeah.
Are you glad
Shocking. I am. But I'm ready for the next one. I'm just glad it wasn't me. Because that is so stressful. And then when you add some of the problems the guys had, running out of fuel on top of it, I mean, your heart's just got to be pounding out of your chest. You're frustrated. The emotions. It's a roller coaster. And it was only an hour.
It was only an hour, and it's, the pressure is so high on this race in particular because there was no qualifying.
Right.
Your starting position was based on where you are in the championship. For some people, that's an opportunity to pick up a lot of points. For others, it's, a potential hazard, right? You don't want to lose too many points. You want to be able to make your way up to the front of the field. So the pressure was on for everybody, and we saw that some folks cracked under it, unfortunately.
Right.
It is what it is. So I think now we go to a break. We give everybody a chance to hit the potty and get a drink and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Sounds good to me.
All right. We'll give you guys a chance to do that. We'll be back in 10 minutes.
There are racetracks, and then there is Le Mans. A circuit built on history, a circuit built on speed, and a circuit that has humbled some of the greatest drivers in the world. From the darkness of the opening laps to the endless run down the Mulsanne Straight, Le Mans demands everything. Because tonight isn't a sprint. This is 90 minutes of endurance where one mistake can undo an entire race. Big Pace arrive at Le Mans at the top of the standings. They've set the pace. They've set the benchmark. But the championship is beginning to change. A new challenger has arrived. Team Gotifi, week after week, they've shown consistency and their resilience. And behind them, waiting for their opportunity, Infinite Octane and friends. Tonight, the greatest endurance circuit in the world becomes the stage for another chapter in this championship. Because at Le Mans, you don't win the race in one corner. You win it through every lap, every decision, every pit stop, every moment when the pressure begins to rise and you refuse to break. 90 minutes, one legendary circuit, one championship on the line. This is round 4 of the VIPGTWC Championship. This is Le Mans.
Welcome back, everyone. It's the VIPGT World Championship. We are in round 4, about to get to the second race of our second European stop. The theme tonight is Survive the Night. We saw in the first race of the evening, the Division II racers battling in the rain overnight. Will Division I see more of the same? Let's find out. So this time around, drivers have 4 cars to choose from. We are racing in the brand new hypercar class here, brand new by, I guess, a couple of years by Le Mans top class standards. The BMW M Hybrid V8, Ferrari 499P, the Peugeot 9X8, and Porsche 963 are the available cars. As I recall, on Thursday, we only saw the Ferrari and the Porsche race. So I think that's all we'll see tonight. I don't remember if anyone was in the BMW. It's only been a couple days. Anyway, today's race, or this race, is 90 minutes versus 60 minutes, but expect just as much action in these race cars here. On the grid today, actually, you know what? I'll let you read this part, Sal. Can you tell us who is lining up to race tonight?
Yeah, absolutely. For the wild cards, we've got Moose and Jorge Sr., and you can see on their driver cards there, they've got their Motorsport League Racing score. You know, think of it kind of like their digit score, but this is a score calculated by Motorsport League, so you can see how each of these drivers fare amongst themselves and amongst each other. Second on the grid, we've got the RPM Bandits in Davy Jones and Player, and I believe Davy Jones is a brand new addition to the team. You see he's got 0 start, so see if he can live up to the hype for the RPM Bandits. RPM also has Hire and Void also going to be running in this one, so a team of 4 all in the same race. Then we have Team Ghosts with Jogal and Doodlebob. And then S7R Titans with Mr. Racing 40 and Wid. And then Team Gotifi with Cyrus Nicky and JP Scale. And I do believe there's been a last-minute substitution in that the proprietor of this league is going to be running. Left Apasio is going to sub for one of the 2 drivers. I forget which one he mentioned, but I believe he is going to be out on track. And then finally, we have the overall leaders, Big Pace in Get Busy and Super S2K. We saw Big Pace take a big hit in the race on Thursday. They did not have the best finishing results, but those 2 hoping to get back on track here tonight.
Yeah, here's hoping. So on that note, speaking of how the teams are faring, Papa, do you mind reading out our current team championship standings?
Of course. As you can see, Big Pace, we've been talking about it now for a couple minutes at least, but over doubled position number 2, but they have 409 points. That's amazing. Team number 2 is Team Gotifi with 190 points. Third position, Infinite Octane and Friends with 185. Sector 7 Titans has 174. Ghosts has 96 points. RPM Bandits with 94. And rounding it out in the 7th position is the Wild Cards with 73 points.
All right, thank you. And so this is the championship picture as it stands for each driver. And excuse me, this will also determine their grid position because the grid is set in reverse of this. First, we have Lookie with big pace with 110 points, followed by his teammate Super S2K in second, just 2 points behind him with 108. Rodrigo, also with big pace, is in third with 100 points. And then the fourth big pace member, Get Busy, has 91 points in fourth place. In fifth place, you're looking at Team Gotifi's JP Scale with 66 points. Behind him is the S7R Titans driver, Wid, with 63 points in sixth. In seventh, Cyrus Nikki, also with Team Gotifi, has 55 points. In eighth, Flopster with Infinite Octane and Friends with 53 points. RPM Bandits gets on the board here with Void in ninth with 48 points. And then Alicos will round out the top 10 with 44 points. Another Infinite Octane and Friends driver. So, again, sets our grid, meaning the person with the least amount of points will be in first place. They'll be on pole, rather. And the person with the most amount of points will be dead last. Now, we've seen once again, the fast drivers tend to make their way up the grid here, especially in that Division 2 race. Division 1 saw a little bit less of that. I think because there's a little bit less difference in the power deployment in these cars, in these hypercar races. So let's see if we can go ahead and get on track here. I think it's about time to see these drivers. They may still be in practice. I don't see a message that we are starting just yet. So actually, let's not do that. Papa, more Lamar.
More Lamar,
More
more
Ray.
rain.
Are you familiar with the hypercar class at all? Do you race any of these, drive any of these cars?
Okay, so I did do a couple practice races when cars first came available. They're really awesome cars. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not a huge racer of these. I prefer to stick with the GR4s, GR3 class. GR2s are probably my favorite, but you get up into these hypercars, man, you have to have such quick reaction time that eye-hand coordination's got to be on point or you're not going to do well.
I gotcha. Yeah. It's the hypercars and really any high downforce car require good hand-eye coordination and reflexes, right? Because with those cars, they have a lot of grip, but when they lose it fast. You know what I mean? So, watching, if you ever watch Formula One, and you see slow-mos of them catching slides, and then you see like the full speed version, and you're like, how did you even know that you were oversteering? Like, how did it feels like it happened so fast. Sal, same question to you. I know you love any kind of car, as the Joker series shows. But do you spend any time in the hypercars?
You know, when it was announced that these cars were coming out, I got so giddy and I ran upstairs to tell my family in the house that the hypercars are coming to the game. I was so happy. And sadly, I have not been able to run them nearly as much as I would like to. I've been so busy with production and all this stuff. I've done a few laps on them and they are crazy fun. I do love having them. And I'm hoping to get more seat time in them in the future. But yeah, I'm so happy that they're in the game. Just some more modern, Group One machinery. Can't go wrong.
I love it too. And this is a very interesting class. I mean, LMP1, obviously, I wax very poetic about LMP1 in that first race. But the hypercars, with the amount of cars on the grid, bring in their own kind of golden age of sports car racing, especially in the top class of Le Mans. It is always special to have machinery that has been designed specifically for this track, right? They race everywhere, but like this is the spiritual successor of the LMP era. LMP stands for Le Mans prototype. That is what these cars were meant to be on. And they're fantastic. And the regulations are a little, it's a weird mix. I'm not gonna lie. I'm starting to get to that age where I'm like, I don't understand what these youngsters are talking about anymore with these new race cars. But I feel like we have a good mix of cars that are kind of using spec off the shelf parts. It is a class that's been cut in two, right? Some of these cars are mandatory hybrid. They have a gas engine powering the rear axle, and they have a hybrid system. I believe that actually powers the rear axle too, and it's a spec off the shelf hybrid system. And then you have the manufacturers who've decided we're going to do our own thing where hybrid is not mandatory. That's how you have cars like the Aston Martin Valkyrie, which is like the last V12 race car, right? It sounds fantastic. No hybrid. It's their version of the car. And then you have Toyota, Ferrari. They have hybrid race cars with their own systems. And I mean, Ferrari came out the gate boxing, hit us with a hat trick on Le Mans, right? 3 years. I don't even know who won Le Mans this year. I've been in my own world, but I wouldn't be surprised to hear Ferrari did it again. But it's a cool class. And it sucks that maybe tonight we're only going to see 2 of those cars, because it's great that those cars have made their way into Gran Turismo.
I agree. I totally
We
agree.
do need Cadillac. We do need Cadillac. I don't know how we didn't get Cadillac. It's
Cadillac, Acura would have been good to have in here as well.
Yep. Acura Genesis is coming out with their car. Yeah.
I would imagine PD is going to bring the Genesis.
Yes.
I would be surprised if they didn't.
Right.
It's a great class. It's not as fast as LMP1, not as free, but because it's more affordable, it's brought back huge top class grids at Le Mans, and that's you know, you can't beat that.
Yeah.
All right, I think we're getting out onto the track here.
Oh,
Yes,
here
we
we
are.
go.
Another rolling start. You see that partly cloudy
Oh,
with
it's
beautiful blue sky there.
Super S2K at the front. He must have used a power up.
Yeah,
He's
Super
supposed to be at the
S2K
back.
is up front. Oh, wow. Super S2K, second in the championship, used the power up to get the pole position. And so he's definitely the man to beat. Super S2K's pace is incredible, literally ridiculous. I've watched him dominate so many races. Some team orders there between Jorge and Moose misses his braking into the Dunlop chicane and loses his teammate's toe. What just happened there? I saw Jorge go around him. That makes sense. Jorge is the faster of the 2 drivers. He's got to chase Super S2K. But I'm sure
he had some help.
Moose's job was to stay right behind him. You think he had help? Oh, he did have a little bit of help from the other big pace driver. Ooh, that was the worst thing to have happen in the worst moment there. And I'm sure Moose not very happy about it. He's going to have to try to recover here as we see drivers already tucking into each other's slipstream. Well, this is different. We're already seeing side-by-side action here coming onto the front, coming onto the Le Mans straight. Moose trying to give a bump draft, trying to see if he can just ride the skirt tails of these drivers ahead of him to maybe get back up to Jorge and help his teammate. We got a higher place there in 4th place. A higher place doesn't have a teammate there, does he? Oh. Side by side for Moose and VIP's left to pass you. Moose will have the inside for the chicane. However, these chicanes have multiple lines through them. Oh, and left to pass you is getting around him here as they get into the braking zone. Moose does brake later. Left to pass you, letting him pass. That was not supposed to be a punt, but it happened. Oh, we have a penalty already. Who's that with a penalty? That is
Voidsey.
Ah. Yes, it is Voidsey, and somebody else just picked one up too. Mr. Racing and Doodle Bob all picking up penalties in that second chicane. So a half second for each of those drivers, and I saw one more pop up way in the back there. Well,
it looks
Sal,
to kill.
It begins.
Yeah,
so many pens.
Yep. Lap
Look
one.
at that. Jorge is sticking with Super S2K.
He is, and Hugo behind him, Huge rather, has a half-second penalty. That's the third place driver. I don't think he's going to lose a position to Moose, who's already made his way back up to fourth, but it will help Moose pick up a toe and try to get back up with Jorge and Super S2K. Now, does Jorge go ahead and try to pass here, knowing who Super S2K is? Or does he chill and bide his time, save some fuel, maybe make an easier pass in the pits? That was close.
I've never really known Jorge to lay back.
Right.
And even in strategy races where it's generally like, hey, save some fuel, save some tire, take the extra pit, that's the better way to go. He just goes full bore, takes an extra pit stop, and then still beats people. Now, Super S2K is another class of driver that I don't know that Jorge's had to race against, maybe other than Wid and Hawko and Mullet with some of the NRL races. So I'm really anxious to see Super S2K and Jorge in the same race together. This should be a good battle.
Yes, a little bit of position swapping between Mr. Racing and Distinct Voidsy. However, Voidsy able to ultimately hold on to his position out of the Porsche curves, and I think Mr. Racing might have just picked himself up a penalty. We'll see. There's his teammate S7R Wid in 8th place there. To your point, you two have watched Jorge race way more than I have. However, I will say that in the last 2 years or so, I've gotten to watch a lot of Jorge racing, and I agree. Jorge does not sit back, and so, yeah, he will go aggressive. He'll take an extra pit stop. That was a pass, by the way. I think that was Wid around the outside of left to pass. Into 7th and left to pass you with a really big oversteer coming out of the corner. He almost took Voidsy out. Voidsy will ultimately get around him because of that, and maybe followed by, yep, Mr. Racing has now also gotten around left to pass you. Big sideways moment for left to pass you there, and he loses 2 positions as a result. Let's see the replay here. Here they are coming out of Dunlop. He's in 8th here behind Wid, and you see just a power oversteer. He almost gets pushed around by Voidsy as he got into his front fender there, but he's on the outside here, and unfortunately Voidsy and Mr. Racing will easily get around him. Mr. Racing holding on in that dirty air there. Left to pass, he has now also picked up a half-second penalty. Teammate Doodle Bob will push him along in an effort to try and salvage what they can, but the 2 teammates are back together now, so I guess it works out.
Yeah, one quick reminder is that left to pass you is, again, a substitute driver in this race. He ended up having to be called up last second and has had no practice. So he's out here just trying to kind of get familiar, take these first few laps, and kind of get his feel for how this is going to work. Not surprised to see him fall a little bit, but I'm sure he will start to get the hang of it as this race goes on.
That is a great call out. Yes, the left to pass you was in the booth with us here, and so physics change plus getting used to a car. Yeah, very tough stuff. Looking at Cyrus, Nikki, and JP Scale. I love those liveries, very reminiscent of the team Jota, Porsches, and so here we are. Obviously, the look is the look, but if looks could kill, trying to split these two, going around the outside of JP Scale into Molzon corner, and he's got that pass done. So, if looks could kill into 11th, JP Scale out a little bit wide on the corner exit. Might be a penalty. Yes, it is. It's a half-second penalty for JP Scale, and there's nobody behind him, but he doesn't want to lose the slip here. So maybe Cyrus think he can help, but Cyrus is in a battle of his own, as if looks could kill tries to make a move on him as they head towards Indy here. If looks could kill, we'll have the outside for the ultimate corner, but we've seen passes made outside, inside. We've seen people spin. It's been bad. And sure enough, left to pass you makes that pass around. Oh, sorry, if looks could kill rather makes the pass into 12th place. Left to pass you will take his half-second penalty that we saw. He will serve that, and he will lose a position to Cyrus, Nikki, and if looks could kill. But he is still in the slipstream line, so that is awesome for him. Coming back up to the front here, or mid-pack rather, you got Wid in 7th, the higher place, right behind Moose, who's down in 5th place, got passed by Jogal as they run line astern through the Porsche curves. Papa, AMS and Jorge are gone. AMS is 6 seconds up the road from Moose here, and probably huge near him. This jump up to pole position by Super S2K has probably ruined a lot of plans, yeah?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. People can't just sit back and, let him try and work through the field and waste some time for a couple laps. But they have to go, and they got to go now. It's going to be tough for these guys to keep up with Super S2K.
It absolutely is, and I'm noticing racing mediums again for these drivers, as it was on Saturday. So these drivers, I mean, these cars are probably a little bit easier on their tires than the LMP ones were. These cars are down on LMP ones by a good like 400 or 500 horsepower, depending on the configuration. And so they're probably not as hard. And I think these cars I do think they're heavier though, with less downforce. So either way, it's a longer race. I think we saw double stints on slicks before rain tires, as I recall, on Thursday.
Yeah, I think on Thursday we saw almost everybody using racing mediums. We did see a few drivers use some of the racing hards, but it was kind of strange in that the drivers taking the racing hards were really only able to get like one extra lap. More so than the racing medium drivers.
That's right. And so I thought maybe that was more about them just not feeling confident with their ability to save those mediums. I don't know. It didn't seem to have a huge advantage for them, unfortunately. But we'll see how it works out for drivers tonight here, as Wid is in this train of mid-pack drivers led by Moose. 3 drivers, Moose, a higher place, and Wid together, trying to catch up to 4th place there, hopefully. Ooh, I see somebody said sorry in the chat. I hope nobody got taken out too badly from whatever that sorry is about. Oh, I left to pass you in 13th place now. Has a half-second penalty, as does JP Scale. No, JP's got a 1-second penalty, so that's going to be a long stop there. And he's in 14th place. There'll be nobody to pick him up and give him the slip again if he falls too far behind. If looks could kill, making a move on Cyrus Nicky into the braking for Mulzon corner. He's almost into the back of Doodlebob, gets it woed up in time, and that was an incredible pass in the brakes, under braking. It almost looked like Cyrus Nicky slowed down really early. Well, I guess he had to. If looks could kill just really got around him there, probably had a better exit out of that second chicane and just ate him up before they even got to the brakes, and that is a pass for position by AMS Super S2K's teammate way in the back, trying to make his way back to the front, while Super S2K leads Jorge Sr., who's not quite out of the slip. He's second back, but doing really well here.
And one thing again to mention with the tires, while we were cycling through those drivers, I did see that Left to Pass You is the only driver on the racing hards. So again, that inexperience with this car and with the track, even though he created these combos out there on the hard tires when nobody else is.
When Jorge overcorrecting there a little bit to try and avoid getting a penalty. I think he did, though. Oh no, he didn't. He got that half second. He did not manage to avoid that penalty, and that's going to hurt because he wants to stay in Super S2K's slip. That is not a driver that you can let get away. So Jorge is going to have to do some Jorge stuff to catch back up to Super S2K. Oh, and Moose is almost all the way around in the chicane. What just happened there? He's 7th place. Did he get some help again? Moose been getting a lot of help from other drivers tonight. Yeah, a little bit of a tap by Wid there. I mean, to be fair, he's a little bit unpredictable with how he was taking that, but that's going to be looked at probably by stewarding. So Moose is helped again down into 9th place this time. Jorge has that half-second penalty. He's got to figure out how to stay with Super S2K. This is a battle that we all... The only thing that's missing is Wid, quite frankly. I mean, I'm just looking for Wid to get up there. And 1, 2, 3, Super S2K, Jorge, Wid. Let's go. Let's get at it. But Super S2K...
I was going to mention, Wid is in this race, and he is moving his way up the field. I mean, we just saw him get into Moose there, but he's up to P6. So he could very much get into this fray by the end.
And he has to be aggressive, right? He has no choice but to be aggressive there. I don't think that was an aggressive move in, like, he was out of order to do it. I think he managed to outbreak Moose into that chicane. It's probably what he had to do, and Moose just trusted that he was going to have that line there, and he did. Turned into him. Again, I'm not a steward, though. I just talk about it. Here's Wid in 7th place. Mr. Racing right behind him in 8th. So the two S7R Titan drivers moving together in those Ferraris. Now, we saw the Ferraris do excellent on Thursday with Truth Serum and Rusty Maggots driving them. Obviously, Wid and Mr. Racing are incredibly quick drivers as well, and it seems to be working for them. They're moving up the field together here. Now, Nuke never told us what the advantage was that the Ferrari has since this business update. We got to find that out, guys.
I know the drivers yesterday, our third place driver was one of the Sector 7 guys. I remember them talking about what they thought it was. I don't remember the specifics, though.
Ah, dang it. Okay. We'll have to figure that out. I had to leave before the interviews, and I didn't get back to watch them. So we need to learn what it is that the Ferraris have now, because it's clearly working. So Boise, we're going to bump draft the higher place here. A little bit of a bump draft. The higher place has a half-second penalty, so Boise doesn't have anything to lose by just letting him stay ahead of him here instead of trying to battle it out into Indy. Goes ahead and bump drafts him. A higher place will serve his penalty here after Arnaz, and Boise will be free to go and chase Jogal in 5th place there, or 4th place. Won't have a slipstream buddy to do it, though. He's going to have to do it on merit. Poor Moose. Poor Moose.
Yeah, Moose back in 9th. It was amazing on that start. He got into that little tussle, but was still running in P5. Still had a really good shot at a good comeback, and then that second one, now back to P9. I mean, with that being said, we have an hour and 15 minutes left to go. There is a lot of time to make up time. If he's got pace, he can still work his way to the front. He just needs to heads down, forget about it, and just run his race.
Plus rain, the great equalizer, right?
Absolutely.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. So, and these cars are, I mean, I don't know how much easier to drive than the LMP ones they are, but they're certainly a little bit easier on their rubber. Like, these drivers are able to take the mediums with them. You know, they're a little bit slower per lap. You see these drivers were running like 37s and 38s on the mediums. The LMP ones were doing like 35, 36, I think, on the hard tires. They're a little bit more forgiving of machinery, but rain is rain. Like, rain does not care how easy the car that you're in is to drive. I mean, the rain around here, such a treacherous and fast track. Papa, to your point, you're nervous about rain. How would you be preparing if you were, let's say you're left to pass, you have been voluntold to get in this race? Where do you go this week?
I call in sick.
You can't call in sick, Papa. You can't call in broken wheel. You can't call in broken controller.
Right. I don't know, man. That's a whole nother stress level. I mean, left to pass you, we just had the physics update on the game Thursday. He's had minimal time on the track, and he got maybe 3 laps of practice in before he had to jump into this race. I don't know, man. I don't know how he's dealing with this. I don't know, man. That's rough.
That is rough. You're absolutely right, and I don't really know what to tell him either. But that was a pass that we just saw, by the way.
Yep.
Jorge on AMS Huge. Now, you know, AMS Huge is not on the same team in VIP as Super S2K, but they are teammates with the AMS team. So Jorge probably not trusting that he can just work with AMS Huge to try and catch up with Super S2K. He's like, the betrayal will come. Ooh, Jorge squarely out of Mulzon corner. It goes purple, but I think he's going to pick up a penalty there. We'll see. Yeah, higher place has another penalty. He's in 6th place, and Mr. Racing is going to get around him. Wid down in 9th place. Moose got around him. So that something happened there. We're looking down the order. We're going very fast down the order, but you guys see it. And left to
Wid was ahead of his teammate in Mr. Racing, so something definitely must have happened for him to have lost at least 2 spots.
Yes, and here he is getting back around Moose there as we speak in the slip. That Ferrari, again, it has something. We don't know what it is, but maybe the hint is top speed. Ooh, Wid, careful. coming out of Indy. It's not easy. He's going to have to go defensive into Arnage. He does a great job parking it on the apex and does not let Moose get a great exit out of there. And, but Moose immediately up to speed with Wid on exit. So that's not the Ferrari strength. Is it just the legs? Let's see. Wid is starting to pull away a little bit, even with Moose in the slip. Of course, they'll have to slow down to get into the Porsche curves. I would love to watch more of these Ferraris to see where they are advantageous. Maybe we'll have to catch some top speed info on Mulzan or something, because I think it's the legs. I don't know. Papa, do you think it's the legs or do you think it's something else?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, they're definitely fast down the straight. But I guess every time we've been able to look at them, they've had in a tow or somebody's.
Right.
It's too hard to tell. I mean, maybe it's tire wear, fuel. I mean, we can see Moose. He's got maybe one more lap on these mediums.
And we were just looking at both Wid and Moose, and their tire wear is pretty well even, which is a bit surprising. I think we saw these guys running the racing mediums on Thursday and getting about 8 laps. Getting 9 laps on the hards, but 8 on the mediums. I don't think these drivers are going to get 3 more laps out of these mediums. They're eating up tires today. Like in this race, they're eating up tires. In the previous race, they're eating up fuel.
They're really close to one another. I think that's part of it. I do, again, think these cars have less downforce, and so Dirty Arrow probably caused more scrub. Ooh, Wid's going to pick up a penalty there out of Tête Rouge, and Moose would have avoided one. Yep, there's Wid's. Moose will not get one. For Wid, making real good use of Moose knows we're talking about him. Wid making really good use of the oversteer there coming out of Dunlop. That was fantastic. Wow, we whipped that car around almost like a Scandi flip. VIP JP Scale has a penalty. There's left to pass you. The proprietor of VIP, creator of the VIP.
I know he's on the hards or left to pass you. His tires are only half worn. He can probably go another 4 laps.
He may not have to pit. I think, if I recall correctly, you had to double stint a set of mediums, and then you could put on and then the rain came, as I recall, on Thursday. Again, it's crazy that I don't remember.
Well, they did the double stint on medium, but that was with going 8 laps on the mediums. These guys are not doing that. I'm not sure if the drivers are just faster and they're wearing the tires out. But we see Jorge is caught, after having fallen to 3rd place, got back around AMS Huge and is now right on the bumper of Super S2K once again.
That's right. Now that is telling, and he does have the fastest lap of 3:34.163. Of course, he did have the advantage of some slipstream, but right now it looks like he is definitely looking aggressive. He is right in Super S2K's toe, not giving him space. When we last checked on these two, they were like a second apart, right? But then Jorge picked up that penalty. They are killing me on the throttle in these cars. My heart is hot.
Yeah, I think at one point AMS Huge in 2nd place was about 2 seconds back. So Jorge is really on a charge, trying to prove his worth in this race today.
That's right. I wonder if the move is on, or if he's again. We know he's not content to stay behind Super S2K. However, he's not a dumb racer either, right? If there's an advantage to maybe chilling for a lap or something, he'll take it. But we'll
they pit here.
You think they're gonna pit here, lap 6?
Yeah, those tires are dead. They wouldn't last another lap. At least Huge's.
We'll see who's gonna blink. Everybody's gonna blink. Okay, they are pitting lap 6 for this thing. I love that it's been different between the Thursday and Saturday races for both races now. Division 2, we saw people running out of fuel. Division 1 here, we're seeing people pit about 2 laps earlier than we expected.
Well, and in both cases, we're seeing it affect the entire field. So it's not that 1 or 2 drivers is just doing something different. I don't know, did PD make some sort of emergency update?
Yeah.
That we didn't catch. Maybe something server side that wouldn't have, resulted in a client update. Very interesting. The conspiracy wheels are turning.
They are. And now I'm like, well, did you guys practice with I don't know. You know what? We'll find out. Doodle Bob stays out. He's on the hards. Left to Pass You will have stayed out. Yes, he's in second place there. He also stayed out on the hards. I wonder if they get more of an overcut with the hards than they did last Thursday, or not last week.
Yeah.
Thursday. That would be interesting to see.
They've got 2 to 3 more laps they can go on those hard tires.
I agree. It's starting to get nighttime. AMS huge, Super S2K huge, and Jorge are out. Jorge must have taken fuel because Huge passed him in the pits. So Jorge's in third place, a little bit heavy on fuel and a little bit low on battery. Can we take a look at Super S2K and Huge's situation there on fuel and battery? There's Super S2K. He's got 3/4 of a tank. Okay. Lots of battery. Huge has 0 battery, 3/4 of a tank. What's Jorge looking like again? Quarter of it to sell? If he took any fuel, that is interesting. I don't know if he took fuel or not, but he somehow lost that position. By a lot too. A couple
seconds though, yeah.
Yeah. Interesting. Okay. Mr. Racing sits in 9th place now, Wid in 11th. So of course that makes sense that those people move down 2 positions, as we have Doodle Bob and Left to Pass You, who stayed out up front. But it looks like everyone else would have pitted, because I think those are our only 2 drivers on the hards.
Yes, you are correct.
Wow. The sun will set a little bit slower in this race because it's 90 minutes long. I think the time progression is the same, or maybe a little bit different. I'll have to check those regs exactly. It is slightly different between the races, and it's beautiful right now, Papa. These colors, these race cars. Dusk is such a good time at Le Mans.
It's popping right now.
Ooh, this
Colors yeah.
This would be Mr. Racing on Jogal, or no? Yes, this would be Mr. Racing up in the 8th place. There we
Beautiful
are.
pass.
That was a beautiful pass, and it's done. There go those Ferraris showing off again. It is cool to see the different bodywork on these cars. The subtle differences, especially from the back. Yeah, the Ferrari's wing looks completely radical in comparison to the other cars. These are beautiful race cars. If you have not yet had a chance to see the hypercars in person, like whether you're in Europe, go catch them. If it's a WEC race in the US, an IMSA race, like, you got to get it in. It's a beautiful, beautiful classic.
Yellow flag.
Oh,
Mr. Racing
was around in Indy. Wow, Mr. Racing just made that pass for 8th place. Let's see it happen here. Good braking. Oh, on the throttle. Yeah, he got on the throttle there too hard, too soon. I told you guys to keep making me nervous on throttle here, because he took a really great racing line, and the braking was perfect. I saw a little bit of a tap maybe from behind, but what happened to him was oversteer on corner exit. So
hard tire runners are in already.
Oh, they are in. So they lasted just 1 lap?
Interesting. Yeah, they only went 1 lap longer.
Well,
I think they have less tire wear, but maybe just doing the math on when the rain is coming, that they thought they were going to do a hard medium stint. Let's see what they come out on.
maybe. It's huge.
Honestly, if that's what they're thinking, I think that's I think that's a mistake strategy-wise. They should have tried. I don't know. I didn't see where their fuel was, but
yeah. Well, again, it's going to be interesting to see how it all plays out with all the medium runners running a couple laps shorter than what they did yesterday. This could be the genius move if it turns out that they get some more laps. But I mean, they only got
medium.
Again, 1 extra lap. I'm not sure if that's gonna be enough.
Right.
Well,
there's also a reason I'm not in the cockpit.
Right. Yeah, I totally agree with that too.
Oh, that sounded almost like that. Okay. That was interesting sound from Super S2K's car, but maybe he was getting into downshifting and I just missed it. Jorge has caught back up to Huge, basically. less than a second behind him, so he's in the slips here. Huge still has like nothing left in the battery on that car. Man, higher place with another penalty. I guess he's gonna be the penalty guy this race, right? Just half seconds all over the place. If looks could kill, has made his way to 5th place after those pit stops. Wow. So trying to make his way up front to his teammate, Super S2K. Regal in 6th place. Boise is in 7th place, followed by Wid, the only S7R Titan in the top 10 right now.
Yeah, all those jumps in the pits are going to be really interesting because it's so early in the race that if you under fuel now to get some track position, you're going to have to fuel more later and then lose it again. So, you know, until another 45 minutes go by, we don't really know how that strategy is going to play out.
Well, my thoughts are, if you're able to fuel up when it's raining and everyone's running a little slower anyway, you've technically gained time versus fueling while everyone's fast. Does that make sense? Oh, Wid, please, everybody,
Take a breath.
If you're listening to the broadcast, I need you to calm it down. Turn on traction control, because y'all are making me mad. 6th, 7th, and 8th. Coming into Porsche, that's Jogal, Distinct Boise, and S7R Wid. What do we see here? I mean, dirty air for sure. I'm sorry, coming into Indy. I said Porsche. We're headed to Indy and are not. They will be in Porsche. Will we see a move out of the corner here? I love seeing drivers drive around each other right before they get to the Porsche curves here. It won't happen for Boise. The Wid is making up time right now, down from 3.5 tenths to 2 to 1.5 tenths. Where's Wid? There he is. You can see him in the mirror right there, about to do exactly what I just said I love, and he makes the pass before the Porsche curve. Wid into 7th place over Distinct Boise. I love it when it works out the way I predicted.
Yeah, Boise had a bad exit coming out of that final corner, trying to stay on Jagal. I think he wiggled the rear end a little bit, and that gave Wid the run. Took advantage of it.
That will do it. So Wid now trying to find his way through Porsche in that dirty area. Went a little wide in that first turn. You can see Jorge with the pass on Super S2K, or Hughes rather. Was that the pass? Yes, it was. So coming out of the Porsche chicanes, Jorge with a purple lap by 3 tenths. And it looks like he makes the pass before they even get to the unlock. Yeah,
we've seen Jorge be consistently late on the brakes in a number of these corners and has been able to get past these guys. Super S2K's got a 3.5 second lead though now. Jorge's going to have some work cut out for him to get caught up this time.
He is, absolutely. I wonder if something happened to Hughes and maybe Jorge also had to slow down, because I don't think it was that big a gap when they came out of the pit, was it?
No, it wasn't.
I didn't think so. So
it could also just be that they're battling and Super S2K is not. I mean, you can get a half second of extra time when two guys are, you know, worried about each other.
That's fair. That's fair, especially going through some of these corners on this track where there's really only one fast line. I think we're in full night now. I can see stars through the trees. Yep. Not quite. It's we can see the sun is still setting just to the west of us here. Still a little orange glow in the sky there. And still, I almost said
Wid up P7.
Clear starry night. Wid about to take P6. There it is. He's gonna pull out of Jagal's slipstream and he's gonna drive right around him like it's nothing, because I again think that Ferrari has insane legs, or low downforce maybe as well. Because again we saw him not do too well in the first of the Porsche curves there. We went away from him, but it looked like he was going wide in that dirty air. I wonder if that Ferrari is just a little bit lighter on its aero. And so by the end of a straight, you know, it's flying.
You may be onto something.
Might be. We'll keep watching. There's Wid, like I said, in 6th place, made that pass very easily into the second chicane. Jagal will stay in 7th behind him. Boise is in 8th. I haven't seen Boise really be able to move up, or really, well, he's moved down, obviously. but I haven't seen much from him. Where are we expecting him to finish? Where's he in the championship? We have that pulled up. I can get to that. Standings, drivers. Boise sits in 9th place in the championship. Okay, got it. So he would have been up towards the front end of this pack here, but it's falling down the order. It looks like as we get into the second stint of the race. Our buddy Left to Pass, who's back there with a half-second penalty. Super S2K's 3-second lead is starting to wane, maybe, Sal? Was it 3.5?
Yeah, it was 3.5. We just saw a dip under 3 there for a moment. It appears that Jorge is slowly and methodically continuing to run him down without the slipstream as help.
Yeah, he's got to catch him before the rain starts.
He does.
Yeah, I do know a little insider info. Jorge does not like the rain.
He does not.
He's still good in it,
Yes.
but it's not his favorite thing. So we'll have to see how this all changes when the rain hits.
Everything Jorge says he doesn't like, he always manages to excel at. I just don't believe it at this point.
Well, you can be good at it and still not like it.
Jay-Z said, I don't believe you. You need more people. And Jorge needs more people. I just don't trust it. I need more to vouch for him. Purple for Huge in first sector here. Now,
Huge does have the slipstream on Jorge.
He does have slipstream, and he's keeping up with him. Like, he keeps barely a sliver of battery sometimes. But what's his top speed going to be here? Let's look at Jorge's top speed first, actually. Can I get Jorge? Jorge gets up to what? 19678. It's going to hover around there. What's Huge? Oh, we missed it. He's already in braking. All right. DK's like, we're not in sync.
Let's see what Huge gets to with the slipstream if it's above 198.
Yeah.
I mean, Jorge's continuing to pull away. It was 9/10. Now it's over a second. He's getting away from him. I think once he breaks that toe, he'll start to drive away faster.
Yeah. And I'm trying to see, what I'm trying to see is like, how is that dead battery affecting these cars? It got up to 191 there. And you're right, Jorge is pulling away from him even in slip. So I think it has an effect for sure. And he's got to figure out how he's going to harvest. It looks like he can only harvest on the brakes. Jorge has depleted his battery basically on the straight here, but he starts the lap with almost half of that battery back on. He's figuring out how to harvest the power. Whereas Huge doesn't seem to be. If looks could kill, up to 4th, a higher place. Every time we look at a higher place, got a half second. At this point,
Right.
that's his new name, half second higher place. He's gonna hate me for saying that.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm sorry. It is what it is.
Cyrus Nicky's moved up. I believe Cyrus Nicky started near the back, or at least was back in P13 at one point.
He was.
Worked his way back up to P9 so far. Moose
Look
back in
far
P10.
back. Hey, you know what I don't really see, and I think we should be seeing them? Stars.
You're right.
Oh, I see a couple.
Okay.
So maybe
Yeah.
it's mixed conditions.
Yeah, we're only on lap 10.
Yeah, I see some. What lap did they come in on Thursday? Did the rain come in?
Don't recall the exact lap.
Oh,
Oh,
either. Lots of
Moose had to
overshoot
save it.
there for Moose. Yes, a good bit of opposite lock fed into that car there, man. These cars are pretty forgiving, it seems like, on throttle. I mean, we've seen one spin on throttle earlier in the race. That was Mr. Racing, but so far, more just like scary moments, right? And then full sideways situations here. We still got 53 minutes in this race, Papa. Long.
Yeah. Still. Yeah. Haven't even hit the halfway point yet.
You know, we got a long ways to go. So probably now is a good time to mention that, hey, we're here at Upshift Media Studios. If you're watching this broadcast on T-Case's channel, You should have pinned in the chat a link to the Upshift Media Studios channel. Please come on over here, give us a like and a subscribe. We're going to be broadcasting all of the VIP GT World Championship here and plan to bring you more leagues in the future. If you want to support our endeavor, you will see a QR code occasionally cycle through in the bottom left. There it is. If you wish to donate to help us kind of keep this thing going and bringing you some good quality broadcast, we would much appreciate it if you are able and willing to do so.
Yes, we would. Thank you for saying all that. And I watched as we were cycling through some of the drivers here. Oh, half-second penalties earned by both Moose and Mr. Racing there, right as we were looking at them. Yeah, Tetra Rouge is gonna get somebody, isn't it? I know for me, I'm gonna pick up a penalty there every time, or I'm going to be excruciatingly slow through there and be horrible in the straight. Like there's no, I'm just not good at this track at all. I don't know what it is with me and Le Mans. I think there's too much freedom. Too much freedom. It's too big. I don't know what the line is. It's too big. Too many options.
I gotta say, Le Mans is probably my favorite track in the game. That and
Really?
that Daytona. And NERB. I like the bigger tracks. I mean, I don't know. There's just something about the flow here, and you throw in the rain. I don't know. I just like this track.
I got you. Yeah, it does have a lot of flow. The Nordschleife is certainly my favorite in the game. I love the GP circuit too. It's a really good circuit.
Crazy.
Great car. We're crazy.
Papa has a deep disdain for anything that starts with NERB.
You have a disdain. It's always interesting when I talk to people who say that, and I wonder, well, Papa, how do you know it?
I do know it.
You do know it. Okay. How did you learn it?
Gran Turismo. I mean, it's been in Gran Turismo for years now.
Chagall with the pass.
Chagall making a pass on Boise. You see if Boise. I'm going to come back to this question, Papa. I just want to see if Boise tries to get back at him.
That was a higher place.
Oh, sorry. Yes, it is a higher place.
Boise is right behind him, though.
Yeah, Chagall made that pass stick. Does a good job there. A higher place is being chased by Boise as well. So it's I feel like 6th, 7th, 8th. No matter who's in the mix, it's always 6th, 7th, 8th. They're always like back to back. It's like a traffic jam right there. Who just picked up a half second? Or is maybe serving one?
I think that might have been Cyrus Nicky.
Ah, okay, got it. But yeah, Papa, so, okay, it's been in the game for a long time. Did you learn it through like a circuit experience or a lesson, or did you learn it just from driving it?
Just from driving it. I haven't even completed the circuit experience here in GT7.
I got you.
I've got like through the first 2 stages, and that was it. That BMW for that circuit experience is just horrid. It might be better now, but I really don't care to find out. So,
looks
Jorge, hold on. Jorge and Hughes just picked up 5-second penalties, but bigger news, if Looks Could Kill is in a higher place than Chagall are in, I think they see the rain coming. Some drivers opted to stay out, which kind of makes sense. It's not going to get super wet yet, but as we recall, it got to full wet last race. So, are these drivers expecting that they'll be able to get a lap out? Those who stayed out, are they going to be able to get a lap before it gets to full wet territory? That's Super S2K, Jorge, Huge, Wid, and Voitie have all stayed out.
I don't know if we can go on board and see if the windshield wipers are running yet. Oh, we do see rain on the track. The rain meter is starting to go up, and these guys have well over half the track left to go. This is a very, very gutsy move.
Oh, it's going up as we watch it too. Look at that. So it is getting wetter. It is a gutsy move. Of course, we're still in the slick tire territory, but again, it ramped up so quick, and it's such a big track. It takes 3.5 minutes to get around here. And we're still
one of the benefits, I think, of being in the second half of the pack.
That's right. That's right. You get to make these calls early on, and it helps you make jumps that otherwise would not have been possible on pace. But, if you're able to stay out on a faster tire, you will have an advantage as well, right? Like being able to trust that you can keep the pace on a slick tire and then have a better performing wet tire towards the end of the wet stint works too. But it's getting up there. It's getting up towards the first line already, as he's still going down the Mulsanne.
Yep. Looks Kakao came out on the intermediates in P8. So we'll see where he, I don't remember where he was when he pitted.
P4.
But P4,
So
okay.
4 to 8. Somebody write that down. I don't have a pen right now.
We'll see where he cycles out after these top 7
Yep.
pit.
Papa,
They're going to pit.
I think you gotta learn the Nordschleife in a circuit experience, or I can't remember what it was in like GT5 or something. Also had a tutorial mode for the Nordschleife where you learned it sector by sector and had guidance and stuff like that. I think when you learn it that way, I found that people who learn it that way love it. Who've learned it sector by sector. It's a tough track to just learn by doing. I mean, you are a soldier, okay? It's not like you can go back every time you make a mistake and figure it out, right?
Right. And again, I know the turns, I know what's coming, I know the track fairly well. I am just not good at it. I can't find a flow. I can't. No, it kicks my butt.
Nürburgring is one of those tracks that will punish you if you're a binary driver. Like you've gotta trail brake. You've gotta be gentle on the throttle. You know where to get that. There's a lot of corners where you don't full brake, and that's how you keep that momentum.
Curve on every corner. Some curves are too big.
And anybody who's been in my live stream knows that is not my forte.
It looks like these guys did make it around just in time before the rain got up to that first marker. So good on them. They timed that perfectly.
Well, they're the fastest drivers on track, so they know they've got the time. Void Z is also on the mediums. He's going to come in now anyway, because those are pretty much dead. Wid in 4th place is not caught up to AMS Huge. He was pretty far back on the track, so he's not in the pits yet. But I'm sure.
And look at the fuel. Jorge still has less fuel than the other two. I think we talked about after the last set of pit stops that he had fueled more than the other drivers. That's why he lost a position to Huge. But comes in this time still lower.
What is this?
Wid stayed out. Did he mean to?
It's Wid, of course.
Meter ain't gonna stay low, is it?
Is it gonna turn to a sprinkle here that he might be able to make it work?
Maybe he sees something on the radar that he thinks he'll be able to make it work. That's insane. But it is low here. It is low here.
I mean, not only is the moisture meter low, but his tires are almost dead. Even if he makes it around, those tires aren't going to last.
I think the rain. But it doesn't matter. Everyone else is going to be on a wet tire, possibly.
Yeah.
Boise, Jorge, and Huge will have. Yep, they're on inters. They'll have made their tire choice before.
Looks very intermittent.
Wipers are going intermittently here, so it's the second half of the track, maybe really wet.
Left to pass, you stayed out too.
Left to pass, you stayed out too. So a huge gamble here. Another difference between Thursday's races and tonight's. That's amazing.
I cannot wait to see how this
plays out. This is either
Pascu has a lot more tire left because he went farther on the hards.
One extra lap, yeah.
Listen, this is either genius or a horrendous decision, but remember, Wid was way behind the leaders of the race, and of course, Pascu was in last place, so they've probably been watching that radar and been able to make their decision. If those rain clouds got lighter, or if they see an end to the coverage, and they decided to stay out, this is amazing for them. They'll not have, everyone else is going to have to take an extra pit stop. They're going to have to get back on a slick tire.
That wet tire is almost dead after one lap.
The wet? Yeah, it's dry or drying. It never hit full wet. It never even got close to full wet territory.
It barely got into intermediate.
Right. Exactly.
Moose is on the softs.
Moose is on softs. My boy.
Oh. Talk about a gutsy call.
Yes, a higher place is on softs too, but of course has a half-second penalty. Half-second higher is killing me, okay? Wid now leads the race on a set of dead mediums, but again, he'll only have to pit one time for tires. Well, probably two more times for tires versus like 3 more for everyone else. He may be able to make a hard. Do
You know what?
something.
He's gaining time though,
He is.
even on these worn mediums.
He is, because the inters are going to be excruciating slow, and they're going to be wearing out. It's wet here. You can see he's in inter territory here, looking at the rain meter, but he's still, like you said, Sal, you said the slicks are still fine if it's right on that line. And Wid is doing fantastic on the mediums. He's a smart driver. I don't see Wid make mistakes like, oh, it was going too fast for conditions. I mean, this is
left rear.
Yeah.
He's probably going to pit now. No point in staying out again on these. Yep, he's going to jump into the pits. He's going to get on a pair of, I don't know, mediums, hards. I don't think hards can go to the end. We're halfway through now. He might be
If he double stinted mediums and made it a little over half, could double stint mediums again.
He could.
And be done.
Hard soft.
And yeah, the intermediate runners are not going to be able to make it through like a full stint.
No, they're gonna have to. They're gonna have to pit to get off the inters. They're gonna burn them up. 100%.
Left to pass, you could probably go around another lap, but I don't think his fuel would make it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah.
God, I wish we could see the weather.
Much less rain. Well, look, it's still sprinkling.
I was
Still
gonna say,
see
The
the
sprinkles coming down.
What's he
And it's
think?
over that first
Super
first
S2K
load.
stays out. Super S2K thinks it's gonna get wet again. Well, maybe
Right.
when the pass you get on a wet tire, but they got to go that overcut at faster pace on a slick.
Have a lot less wear.
It is on an inter. Yeah, they stayed out.
So the
They
rain's
came out
still
in the
coming.
lead.
Wow, and he's gonna come out still in the lead.
Wow.
That's a huge
Ah,
jump.
that is a
6.5
huge
seconds.
overcut. That is
Yeah.
a huge overcut. He comes out in the lead with fresh intermediates looking huge. They're already halfway done up front. Super S2K is going to look too much better because these guys all ran a lap on these. They don't last.
Wow.
That's amazing. So Wid with the jump. Left to pass you is in 7th place right now, fueling up, but will likely have made a huge jump as well. But wow.
Why was Doodle Bob in?
I think he went out on wets and burned them up.
No, okay.
One lap and they were almost dead.
Same problem.
No, it shows he's on intermediates. There was somebody that was on. It was Joe Gall. Joe Gall and Cyrus Nicky were on full wets.
Oh yeah, they're dead.
Look at that, totally dead.
Wow. They're gone. What's he go with here? Another set of wets or is it inters? This is different. Full wets. So on Thursday, the rain came in and it was in full wet territory by the end of that first rain lap. Sal, you can tell me if I'm wrong about that.
No, absolutely. The rain came in hot and heavy yesterday. It looks like it's just coming in a lot slower. And, Wid was able to hold out one more lap. I mean, not only was he able to get that faster lap, but his tires aren't worn. Everybody else's tires are worn.
That's right. Left to pass you is in 10th place. So a huge jump for Left to pass you, who was in last place by several seconds, is now up in 10th place, having been able to do that. Wid is in first place by 8 seconds. Super S2K has a huge gap on huge. And Jorge Sr., the gap from second to third, about 7.5 seconds. Jorge has not been able to make another charge up towards Super S2K. Maybe you guys were right about him, not just not liking the rain, but potentially not having the same sort of speed advantage he normally enjoys.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I mean, it is going to dry out eventually, but again, Super S2K is not the kind of driver that you let run away with anything. As he chases Wid. Wid won't make it easy for him to pass, though, unless he picks a spot right.
Wid's pulling away from him.
That's
He's
true.
got those fresher intermediates.
Looks could kill.
Looks could kill. Tires are dead.
You know what? We were trying to figure out where he was going to come out, having made that jump early. Of course, Wid and Left to Pass you staying out kind of threw us off there, but he was up to 4th. He pitted and came out in 8th. He pitted early for those inters, and now he's sitting in 6th with those intermediates dead. And he's gonna have to pit
Oof.
again and probably get
He's
on the wets at this point. It's getting up
super
to
slow.
wet territory. Oh yes, very slow. Can't get on the gas. He has to pit for the wets right now. Could barely get it turned there. That front
Yeah.
left absolutely gone, and he's unable to keep the power down. It's sketchy for him here. The Porsche curves are gonna be hell, especially the left-hand sections. He's almost there though. But he is going to be slow like a dog through this section. And then you gotta wonder, Papa, well, how long is the rain gonna last? Like, you have to pit for a set of wets. Is it gonna be another lap? Is it gonna be 2 laps that you get on these before the rain stops?
I bet you we see another probably 3 to 4 laps. Yeah, I mean, that rain, it's still coming down. We're almost into full wet territory now.
This has thrown so many drivers off. It's kind of
Yeah.
to see how it's different. I mean, of course, the weather is never a guarantee, right? That's why these drivers, they'll run simulations, they'll run the races over and over again so that they can hopefully see almost every possibility of what the weather's going to do and when it's going to do it. But there's still a measure of unpredictability in when it comes down and how hard it comes down. And we saw that come into play tonight in a big way.
Yeah.
Wid was running like P7 at the best. Oh, 1 second for him, but he's made a good gap. He's got a 10-second gap.
Yeah. I mean, he's pulling away rapidly.
He is, but you don't want to get penalty in front of Super S2K, but his tires look great.
Yeah.
Those inters are doing well in the rain for him. Super S2K has a half-second penalty with almost dead inters, so all things are almost even, I would say. A little sketchy on the brakes there for Super S2K. You saw that back end moving around just a bit. Jorge has a full second penalty behind Hughes. He will lose the slip there because of that penalty. And so you can see him trying to stay as close as possible, trying to do everything he can to stay right there with him. It's getting sketchy out there on those inters. And look at that rain. That's coming down sideways. I mean, we're going fast, but the rain is coming down sideways. The wind, what's the wind doing? 12.3 feet per second in the opposite direction of these drivers, kind of a crosswind. So yeah, that's why that rain looks like that.
I remember in the Discord chat yesterday after the race, a number of drivers were mentioning that the wind was really high, and we're seeing that again today.
We are seeing it here. Now it should help for breaking into, like, you know, Molzon coming up here. That wind will be in your face, but it'll be at your back through sketchy sections like the Porsche curves. So, you know, the wind taketh and the wind giveth away. And of course it messes up your straight line speed. Ooh, Huge has picked up his own additional half second, additional second rather, which basically means he and Jorge will stay even when they serve him. Boise behind them has a half-second penalty, so he'll catch up to them, but not as much as he would have had he not picked up a penalty himself. But the two drivers ahead both have 1 second, and these penalties are getting even a vet like Jorge. We saw Super S2K have one. Wid's got a second. He's got to serve once he gets up there. I mean, it's Le Mans, you know? What can I say? Now, this part right here would be sketchy for me. There's Wid coming off his penalty. Super S2K going to serve his back there. I can't believe Wid is leading this race after staying out when it started raining. I really thought that he made it.
Yeah, so did I.
I mean, once again, we can't see the radar. It seemed like a huge mistake at the time, but he was able to predict just how much the rain was going to come down and that it was going to stay just dry enough for one more lap.
That's right. Now we've got 33 more minutes of racing, and it doesn't look like the rain is letting up just yet. It's still raining pretty hard here. The wind is letting up. It's a little bit slower now. Pardon me, but it's still pretty wet, and so he's going to be able to stay out on those intermediate tires. It doesn't look like it's going to get to full wet territory unless it gets hard again, but it does look like it's getting lighter in our cameras here. Um,
I am seeing blue at the top of that meter, so it looks like they are in full wet, just barely.
just barely. Yep. So I don't think it's gonna get worse. We'll see. Half second higher. A higher place is an 11th place, and I think he could literally be in a higher place if it wasn't for the penalties. He has basically served a half second every lap. We're on lap 15, so do the math. That's 7 seconds. Yeah,
Well, and a half-second penalty costs you more than a half second.
It does. You're right. It absolutely does. It's actually more like 8 seconds, if not a little bit more than that. So he's lost a lot of time to penalties, not really battles or anything like that, but the penalties have been killing him. Here's Moose, literally in Cyrus Nicky's diffuser. I don't know how you see where the track is going when you are actively using someone's exhaust as binoculars, but Moose has figured it out and manages not to crash behind Cyrus. Gets a good run on him through the Porsche curves, though, but nowhere really to go through Porsche. There's only really one line through them, especially when it's wet. But I think he's kind of putting Cyrus Nicky on notice here, just trying to annoy him. Like, I'm very close to you, and I'm faster than you, and I would like you to move. Please and thank you.
Yeah, and that
we were talking earlier about focus and losing your spot on the track, losing track of where you are. And when you're right up in someone's exhaust like that, that's the time. That's the time where you lose track of, where you're at, because you don't have all that peripheral. Like, you're not watching the track unfold ahead of you. And it's so easy to forget that, it's this corner coming up. But Moose, I mean, he played it beautifully.
Yeah, and if you're a VR...
sorry, Jorge got around huge.
Yeah, he got around huge, and huge picked up another second penalty. He's going to try to get around Jorge here. He was bump drafting him, but he's going to pop out of the slip there. Maybe not trying to get around, just trying to get some braking. Sorry, Papa, you were saying something about VR?
I'm saying, trying to do this in VR in these cars, there is so limited visual that you have out that front windshield, and then when you go into a turn, your hand blocks half the windshield also.
Oh wow!
I couldn't imagine trying to do this game in VR. This combo.
Some people swear by it. If you listen to the
Some
Guys Do Racing podcast, the DGADR boys are VR purists. By the way, I see why Huge is pushing Jorge along here. He's got that second penalty, and Voidsy is right there within a second, 1.2 seconds of him. So he is trying to get as far from Voidsy as possible, and maybe can tuck right into his slipstream after taking his penalty, and that's why he's pushing Jorge along. He is going to serve that penalty now, though. And I think Voidsy will get around him. Jorge will get to run away a little bit, but Voidsy, is right there. He's not far away from Jorge at all. Jorge will look to break Voidsy's toe and runs all the way to the right-hand side of the track there. Voidsy just gets back in it, but Jorge already thinking defensively and trying to keep Voidsy out of his slip. Now that he's lost Huge, who he's been running with for a long time in this race, Jorge still has quite a ways to chase Super S2K, and of course Wid is just gone with that.
It's the biggest gap we've seen between Jorge and Super S2K so far in this race, and we're 2/3 of the way done. We just passed the 30 minutes to go mark about a minute ago.
Right.
It's starting to get to be go time here.
It's definitely go time, so I'm sure he's happy that he lost Huge there. But yeah, he's got Voidsy still on his tail, but I think he can get Voidsy on pace. Granted, tire wear is going to be a thing. These drivers are staying out on these inters, staying out long on them at that, just trying to avoid having to make an extra pit stop, and it's losing them time. But he and Super S2K pit at the same time, so they'll be having the same struggle. But you can see nobody wants to pop the cork on getting off the intermediate tire, and I think it has stopped actively raining. Yes.
It's drying out pretty quick, yeah.
It is drying out. So Mr. Racing
wide.
gets pushed out wide there, not pushed out. I think he just went wide, but that's not good. Left to pass you, trying to stick with him and maybe make a move as well. Mr. Racing is going to pull out just ahead of him. Mr. Racing's not been having a great race. He's going to pit. He's going to be the first one to jump onto a not wet tire. Sorry, no, if looks could kill, it's also in and Jogal. So these guys going to change.
He's got damage on the front.
There's
That
no way
front
they're going to
left
put
is
on
totally
dry
gone.
tires. Yeah, that front right's totally gone, but I don't think they're going on slicks. It can't be. That rain meter is still well above injured. I think this is a forced pit stop. They just don't have the tires.
They're going to come out on slicks.
Think so?
Yeah.
I think they will.
Mediums.
Oh yeah, mediums.
Yep.
Am
The
I
pit road is going to be more wet than the
pit
racing
road is gonna be
surface.
insane. There you go. Yep.
Yeah, there we go. It's down to the line.
Maybe it is down to the first line. You know what? It looked like it was still wetter than this. So the cork is popped. We have some slick runners. Moose and Cyrus Nicky are also in. Moose, I'm surprised Moose isn't driving angry. Moose started this race up in like third, fourth, something like that. And last we checked, he was like in 13th or something like that. 11th here on the board. Well, not anymore. But yeah, Moose has been having to find it. Wade is still out on those inters. He will likely
The
jump
track
in.
there is more wet.
It
Unless
is
he's
more wet
actively
right
off
there.
the racing line.
But Moose sideways. Oh, Moose is struggling to put it down. Yeah, Moose is not having a great time on this part of the track. He managed to hold on to it there, but I think that was a big sideways moment coming out of Dunlop. Let's see.
Watch those curves.
Yeah. Oh, him and Mr. Racing. Oh my gosh. Oh, you know what?
Oh, it's raining again.
It is raining again. It is raining again. Oh, this is not good for Moose and them.
Full wet.
Yeah, it's full wet.
Or almost full wet.
Well, either way, you gotta be on a tire with sipes in it or something. Look at that. Really struggling to get stopped for the chicane. Poor Cyrus Nicky. He just barely manages it, and I don't think took a penalty either. Well done. Moose is absolutely unable to get the power down on those racing mediums. They're gonna have to pit again. This race has been insane. They're going to have to pit again and get back on a groove tire. It's not raining here. Is it raining right here? No.
With Le Mans being such a big track, I mean, it may be raining at one end and not another.
And not another one.
They may be fighting with hey, no matter what you do, you're in trouble because you maybe have a dry track on one end and a wet track on the other.
But you have to pay attention to where that radar is and what is going in. Oh, Jagal. Super S2K is in to the pits. He had old inters. Let's get on a slick. Jorge's in. Mr. Racing is under attack here. Mr. Racing's on those mediums. A lot of people in off their inters. Most of them are dead tires, though. Let's see what they come out on because it was actively raining on part of the track, not raining on another part. This is the second or last
goes wide.
Last sector, rather. Doodle Bob is on an inter. Is he jumping in? He's jumping in. Okay. And it's not a fully dead inter, so maybe these drivers are ready to take slicks. The sky is opening back up. The sun is coming back up, rather.
Well, the sun will help dry out the track quicker, too.
It will. Man, it was sketchy for Moose and other drivers there. I don't know how they managed to hold on to it. There's definitely a dry line. What did the front runners come out on? Where's S2K? What's he out? What's he on in P2 there?
I think he came out of mediums.
Medium. Yep. Okay.
And huge jumps Jorge in the pits once again. 5-second advantage.
Wow.
How much more fuel did Jorge take? About an eighth of a tank more.
That's a huge
Jorge's just eating up that fuel.
He has been. Well, we said he isn't. He's an aggressive driver, so.
No, I'd be talking to the pit crew.
Just go.
Yeah.
All right. So the good news is those who were on the slick tires a little bit soon have not completely died. Doodle Bob has a half-second penalty. That was really scary for a little bit there. It looked like Moose was not going to make it around the track. Ooh, it looks
Oh,
to kill out way wide, and he's back in 8th place, by the way. So everything he did pit-wise did not work out for him. He was in 4th place. And now down to 8th. Ooh, pardon me. Cyrus Nicky still down in 11th. We saw some risks, and the only people who have really benefited from them are Wid and Left to Pass You. Left to Pass You's in 6th place right now after running in last for so long. Wid still leads the race by almost a full minute over Super S2K, though he does. Oh, wait,
look at his fuel.
Yep, fuel is low. He's gonna pit this time around, but he's got enough time, I think, to come out ahead of Super S2K. We'll see. It's gonna come down to that fueling.
Is he going to try to time it? We saw, what, 6 laps on mediums?
Mm-hmm.
6 times 4, 4 minutes a lap. One more, I mean, he goes on to mediums, he's done. He won't have to pit again.
No, he won't.
I wonder if Super S2K and Huge and Jorge will be able to make it, or if they'll just be on. Well, they didn't fill up all the way, so they must think they can make it with what they filled up to. They left it with a quarter tank.
They left with a quarter tank?
They left with only filling up to 3/4, so there was a quarter of the tank they did not fill.
Got you.
And Wid is in
with 3%.
Yeah, so they need about 5 laps.
So Super S2K is going through the Porsche curves now. Or no, I'm sorry. He is, yes.
Yeah. Yep.
Wid is getting to his box now. He is going to have to put fuel in that car. Super S2K, 3 Porsche, technical, not slow section. He's still going almost 150 mile an hour in some parts of it. Wid is getting gas right now. Where does he come out? And that livery is beautiful on that Ferrari, by the way. Gotta say. It's a good looking car.
He's only going to have to go a little over halfway. He's almost there, but Super
S2K
S2K is on the straight.
Wid is still fueling up. Super S2K passes him on track at least. Wid
is huge.
Yeah.
Wid's still filling up.
Wid is still
filled up to 72%.
He's gonna come out. Does he come out ahead of
Jorge? Another Wid and Jorge battle.
Oh man, so Wid comes out in 4th. It's still a huge jump over where he was before the rain came. Has he refueled enough to fight, do you think? Does he intend to get up to 1st, or was the plan always just to see, I can get positions, I probably won't get the win? Because he didn't stay out long. He was always going to have to refuel more than these guys. He avoided a pit.
That's a very good rhetorical question.
Right.
Great. Okay. Left to Pass You is in to get off those intermediates rather, and he's got 44% fuel already in the car, so he's looking good. If looks could kill, 7th place here, higher place without a penalty currently. Okay, we see it higher. Careful.
Also, here's a rhetorical question. We know that Jorge and Wid are rivals. They've battled each other quite a bit. But
Yes.
do you think? I know it's a respectful and friendly rivalry that they have. Do you think that they would possibly team up to try to run down AMS, knowing that AMS has just run away with the points in this league so far? Do you think they would work together, or are both of them like, no, we just want to beat each other?
You know?
No, I think they both look at the bigger picture.
Agreed. I think they'll work together to a point. We only got 18 minutes left in this race. And they're not that far behind Super S2K and Huge. So, you know, why not try to work together or something? We'll see. I think on pace, you know, the Ferrari has something. Mr. Racing's not doing that well, because we've seen a lot of issues for Mr. Racing, but we've seen the pace of that Ferrari, especially in the faster sections in the dry. So we'll just have to see. We'll see what Wood can do in these last few laps of this race here.
It's a really good point with Jorge and Wid being in different cars. If they work together, then they could make up for the deficiencies of each car.
Perhaps.
Jorge can tow Wid along where he's quicker, and Wid can push Jorge along where he's quicker.
Well, Wid is all over the back of Jorge right now, and we've seen that Ferrari make passes into Porsche against drivers, certainly into the chicanes on the Mulsanne here. I don't think he's going to get Wid here, but you can see how much closer he is in that Ferrari as they come into the Porsche curves. So I think Wid's advantage may be on the top end of things. So if he can get a good corner. Oh! Jorge's around! I think he hit a wet patch. Jorge is completely around. Rear end damage for Jorge. That's the end of that. Let's see what happened. This is him being chased into the Porsche curves. First, that right-hander. You do have a slight braking. Get on the throttle here. And then...
Right there.
That curve.
Yeah, right there. Just on that curve. Wow.
Oh, that's heartbreaking.
And he's going to pit to fix that damage, it looks like.
I wonder if he's going to come out on the soft.
Damage. He's angry.
He's
pissed.
Yeah.
He's pissed. Oh my gosh. He got reset. Second penalty. He's done. Wow.
ouch.
So he jumps into the pit. He's on the
The
brake.
pit road is so wet.
Wet.
Yeah, he's
He spins it,
wow. He spins
and once you
it,
go backwards,
resets
it
him.
resets you.
Oh. From bad to worse.
He's
more
still
damage.
in P5.
More damage, a 3-second penalty. He's got to pit. How long is he going to keep P5? So Super S2K is just ahead of his teammate Huge. What is the gap between Huge and Wid? 8.8 seconds, so 9 seconds. I don't know. Wow,
Is Wid going to be able to run him down like Jorge had been?
We're still very quiet because that was kind of crazy what we just saw.
right.
Yeah.
Need a moment of silence.
Yeah. What just happened? Well, okay. So, Wid now has a podium position, all but guaranteed. You know, he's got 7 seconds to Voidsy, so he really could just take it home here, take the podium points, and be happy. He's done the job. He stayed out in that rain stint, got an incredible overcut with the staying out on the slick tire, and then had really good pace in the rain stint on the inters, and has come out in 3rd place, where I believe he was like in 7th or 8th before. But he could also chase. 7.8 seconds to Huge. We're going to keep an eye on that. Voidsy is 7.5 seconds behind him, and then there's a huge gap to 5th. People are pretty spread out here. There's Doodlebob in 5th place. There's Jorge with that 3-second penalty and damage. So he's down to 6th. So he'd already lost the position to Doodlebob. He will definitely lose 7th place to If Looks Could Kill. A higher place as well, because again, he's going to have to pit and take new tires and fix that damage.
Yeah, having both front and rear end damage is going to hurt you so much on a track like this with the long straightaways.
I feel bad like I did it.
You did, Tati.
I did do it.
It's all you.
Never mind, guys. I quit. Sorry.
It was at Sector 7, Voodoo.
Oof. It was.
He was trying to transpose the Voodoo from a higher place over to Jorge, and it worked.
Listen, I wanted Wid to do well, and Wid was right there, and I didn't know. I'm like a mutant in the X-Men who's just discovering their powers. I didn't know that was going to happen. I was just feeling very strongly.
Huge has been keeping up with Super S2K, which is something we haven't
He
seen
is.
all race. That now they're actually able to work together without another car to battle.
They are, but they're not on the same team, right? In the VIP championship.
Right.
Well, that's true. They're frenemies in
They're
this
frenemies.
race.
Right.
That's right. Big pace for Super S2K. Huge. I don't actually recognize his livery. Who is he racing with? Okay, nobody knows. All right.
Let's pull up the.
Well, his
teams
he's
here.
not on the driver list that I can see, unless I missed something. Yeah, he's not. Did he jump in for the crawler? Is that the RPM Bandits livery? That would be Voidsy's livery. Oh, you know what? I should have been looking. What does that say? Can we get a chase cam view of that? So we can. Oh, I think it's just a generic Apex Motorsports livery. Oh. Who is he racing for? He's just an AMS livery. I thought so. I was like, that's just typical AMS colors. Interesting. Well, Wid has eaten up almost a second of that gap. It's 0.8 seconds. It is closing. What?
Left had mentioned that there was a substitute, but it was a different name.
I thought it was gonna be. I'm thinking for the crawler who was with RPM Bandits. Maybe. I don't know.
There was another one. It was like, it wasn't Doodle. I can't remember the name now. Hold on, I can look it up.
You can look it up. Awesome. Thanks, Sal. Wid is running in no man's land right now, but just running hot laps here on those racing mediums. The sun has dried up all the rain. We're seeing that rain meter jump up in some spots, like right there on the on the curb, and then shady areas like this right here where the sun hasn't quite kissed the track will be a little bit wet as well. But for the most part, we're running a dry race here, people. So these cars are gonna have the best pace that they've had all race long. In fact, Wid has the fastest lap right now with a 3:32.680, which I think was set in this latest stint, rather.
Yeah, that driver card was Davy Jones for RPM Bandits. So I wonder if Davy Jones is AMS Huge.
Maybe. Yeah. Okay. All right. Showing off your production access there, looking at the driver card. Jorge stayed out with that damage and has picked up another second penalty. So he's gonna lose his position if looks could kill, regardless of the damage here. Oh no, sorry, they're 4 seconds. Mr. Racing got disconnected. What? Mr. Racing has just DC'd from the lobby, guys. That is a big deal for S7R Titans as far as the points go there. Sal, do you know with points? I know that you're still awarded some. Here come our leaders, Super S2K and Huge in the pits. We talked about Wid potentially staying out and not having another pit stop. He did, and he does. I forgot about that. So Wid is going to re-inherit first place here. Again, the overcut played perfectly. Wid in first place and will absolutely run away while Super S2K and Huge have to run through pit lane and take tires. Game.
This is huge.
Set. Match.
Huge is down to 4th.
Voidsy's good to go.
Boise is good to go. Super S2K and Huge
Doodle
come out on
Bob.
softs.
I thought Super S2K and Huge and Jorge had all filled up enough on that last stop to make it to the end, but apparently not.
I thought so too, and it might explain why they came out so.
Did they come? Are they coming out on soft?
They're coming out on softs. Yep.
Yep.
Super S2K and Huge came out on softs, so they're gonna.
Well,
look
Boise's on the hard.
He didn't pit. He's on the same strat as Wid and Doodle Bob.
That's right. I thought the Hards might be able to take somebody to the end of this race, and looks like that's what Voidsy opted for. And he's in second place. He's being rewarded for it. Doodle Bob is on the Hards as well, Papa, did you say?
Yes.
Okay, so Super S2K and Huge maybe saw that and think they can chase and catch one or both of these drivers. Yeah, there's Super S2K going around Doodle Bob right now. He's got a half-second penalty, and Huge is also probably
Ooh.
oh my gosh,
I think there was some contact there.
a little bit of contact.
Door rubbing.
Ooh, and Doodle Bob is around. I think
Ooh.
he definitely got help. There was
I
a
think
little
so too.
there. You come out on fresh softs. This guy's on worn mediums. He's got a penalty anyway. But let's see what happened here. Super S2K is around clean. That's no biggie. Doodle Bob.
Little contact
A
there.
little bit of contact. Yeah. Yeah. He's
Definitely
just
got help.
getting his way through. Oh man. Yeah. Fifth place.
Yeah, if I remember, Huge was also the one who bumped Moose on lap 1, turn 1.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Two help around there for Huge. He is new
Yeah.
to.
Well, and then Wid got into Moose too, as long as we're
right, yeah.
Yeah.
talking about Moose's run-in. So, you know, who knows what might happen to Wid
Who knows?
after taking home the win provisionally.
Jorge is in trouble.
That's right.
He's got
That's
that arrow damage on both ends. He's got if looks could kill right behind him since he had to take that penalty. And half-second higher place, who doesn't have a half-second right now, is also right there. So Jorge is absolutely in danger of losing 2 more positions, and quite frankly, I think he will.
I think he knows it. He's staying off to the side.
He is. He knows.
And
yeah.
such a rare mistake from a driver like Jorge,
Oh,
who's
look
certainly
Gil.
looking at a
Look
podium.
at
Oh,
Gil. Be
look, Gil got into the
there,
wet stuff.
please. And a jump on Jorge. I was just thinking, I was like, please just be patient right here. Please, you don't have to make this pass around the outside. There goes a higher place. It looks to kill, looks to go around the outside, it looks like here, and he's in the wet stuff, like you said. Oh, I would have backed way out of that. There's just no reason. I mean,
I think he was trying to stay off of him, but when he touched the wet stuff, when he lost grip.
I think so too. Here's Wid. 14 seconds for Wid, and he's going to go around another 2 laps, it looks like. Voidsy's behind him, but he's on the hard tire. Not as worn as the medium, but certainly won't be as fast. But Super S2K is behind him. 9.5 seconds between them. That's a lot to ask to chase and catch that up, but you got 2 laps to do it, Papa. You think, of all people, Super S2K can do it?
I think he can catch Voidsy. I don't think he's got a shot at Wid.
No, I don't think
that'd be 10
sure.
seconds a lap, so.
Yeah, absolutely not.
Yeah,
No.
I think softs versus hards, he's going to make up a lot of time.
Yeah.
He is. That's very true. Granted, this is a track with a lot of just top speed. Doesn't matter if you're on the south or the hards on the Mulsanne. You know what I mean?
Right.
Well, getting onto the Mulsanne, you can carry a lot more speed on the softs, so you can still make up some time. But you're right. Once you get to top speed, then you're there.
Correct. Yep. This track is mostly straight. But yeah, in all the twisty stuff, Super S2K is going to have the advantage. It's just, is there enough of the twisty stuff to make up this amount of time?
Or tire. I mean, he's only run 1 lap, and that tire is 25% going.
It is. You're right. He's got to do at least 2 more laps here.
Yeah.
Huge has got a penalty behind him, a half second back there. So he's not going to quite lose touch, but going to lose his sometimes teammate here, I guess. Poor Jorge, down in 7th place now. So if Looks and Kill still hasn't made his way around him. So Jorge somehow managing to hang on to it. Maybe because when we left them, they were going to head into a twisty bit, which, you know, having the extra downforce probably actually helps Jorge there. But certainly this next time on the Mulsanne won't be great for him. There's Doodle Bob. He's down in 5th place and didn't lose too much. He was gonna lose the position anyway. He was gonna lose 3rd to Super S2K and Huge. It sucks that he had to get spun and pick up damage, but he has 20 seconds to the car behind him. Ultimately, he is not so much worse for the wear. He was going to be in 5th anyway. You know
Looks
what?
like JP Scale and Iflix both got by Jorge.
Yes, they did, but now both have.
Left to pass you.
Pass you.
Wow. Like I said, once you got to the fast part, once we got into the Mulsanne, Jorge was going to lose whatever advantage he has in that twisty stuff, and he's lost 3 positions. 2 of those drivers have half-second penalties, but I don't know that it's going to matter much, because even if he's able to pass them from serving the penalty zone and hold them off in the Porsche curves, they're going to go through the Mulsanne one more time and catch him back up. So I think 10th place is it for Jorge here.
Well, there's the possibility Cyrus Nicky could run him down with a
Yeah.
whole other lap to go and all that speed loss on the Mulsanne.
You are so right. Here's Jogal in 13th. Well, I think we saw Jogal like what, up to 4th or 5th at some point. This race has been
Yeah,
all
I
over
think
the
you're
place.
right. It has.
Yeah. It has been a great race, to be honest.
The incidents and the strats and it's everywhere.
Incident, strats, great pace. You know, Super S2K holding Jorge off, who looked like, remember in the first stint, it looked like Jorge had his number. We were like, oh, is he just chilling? Like, is he just saving gas? Because it looked like clearly he had pace on him, but, you know, consistency over everything, right? Jorge has just had penalties, and then now, towards the end of the race, like, outright wrecks. And it's gone horribly for him. 10th place. He was fighting for first.
Doodle's going to be hanging on this lap with those tires.
Yeah, no reason to jump in though. He would definitely lose that position to a higher place, so better to just tiptoe it around the track and go.
Curious how close Super 2K has gotten to Voidsy.
You know what? Let's take a look at that. 3.3 seconds. Oof. And they've got most of a Le Mans lap to go. Voidsy got to be on his horse on this one. Super
those tires
aren't great though. Yeah. Those tires. If Looks Could Kill really hasn't been able to break out of that super mid pack. He was in 4th place before the rain started. But you know,
Cyrus Nicky's right there.
He is, you're right, he did chase him down.
Yeah, I feel so bad for Jorge.
Yeah, at this point this is a salvage race. He's just trying to get what he can.
I have Jorge on my fantasy team, so this hurts me.
Oh, you have Jorge on your fantasy team?
I swapped him out for Witt out for Jorge.
You know what? Given where they started on track, I would have probably told you that was a decent bet. But the Ferrari, we always knew the Ferrari was lit. Now, we did not know that overcut was going to happen with the rain. Couldn't have guessed that.
Well, we didn't know about the Ferrari when I made it, because I had to make the change on a Wednesday.
Oh, right. Wednesday. That's true. We didn't know about the Ferrari. We certainly didn't know how the rain was going to work out. That's Jorge down to P11. Here's Wid, P1, running it. Let's see where Voidsy is. It's still 3.2 seconds, so he might be able to hold Super S2K off as they head towards Indy here. There's not going to be much passing opportunity for Super S2K outside of maybe catch him into the chicanes. But
it looks like the curbs are still a little wet.
They are.
If you get too far off.
Y'all be careful, especially in Indy there.
Well, huge caught back up to Super S2K. There was a 1.8 second gap there.
Yeah, because he picked up that penalty, right? You think now's the time?
Is Super S2K saving fuel? Did he underfuel it?
I don't know.
They're both like dangerously low.
They're both short shifting. They are both short shifting. This is an opportunity here, though. Oh, yeah. The betrayal is on. Huge will try to get around Super S2K, but he has got to keep enough fuel in that car. Look at S2K. He is sipping it. Wid is going to take the 4 chicanes for one final time. Uncontested winner of this race on a brilliant strategy. Wid crosses the line, our race winner here at Le Mans. Distinct Voidsy hangs on to it for second place. So Voidsy, well done in that race as well.
Well
On
done,
the race
boys.
card, good job for you. P2 for Voidsy. Huge has made that pass on his teammate and held on to it. He's still got enough fuel to get over the line. Is under his own
Oh,
power. Super
S2K was out.
was out of
Right as he
fuel.
crossed the line. Yep.
Crossing the line in fourth. Yep. Doodle Bob will come in
Doodle.
Also
fifth.
dangerously low.
Also very low with damage, but he's got so much time to a higher place behind him. I think he's fine. A
Yeah.
higher place. I didn't even realize he'd made it up to sixth, but that's pretty much where he was in this race, as I recall. And he's just stayed still. Imagine
Without the podiums, that was
imagine what could have been
yeah.
without the penalties. You know?
Yeah.
This is what we
Absolutely.
mean. This is what we mean, guys. Learn those track limits and adhere to them. It's not worth eating those penalties, no matter how fast you think you're going. But a higher place will finish in sixth place. JP Scale will take seventh, left to pass you up to eighth. Our boy from being 14th by a lot. If looks could kill into ninth, Cyrus Nikki will round out the top 10. Jorge was passed again because Moose is in 11th, but he's got no fuel and a 1 second penalty. Jorge will take
Jorge
11th
got him.
place after all. Moose in the 12th. Jogal will take 13th place. And we had lost Mr. Racing, who would have been our 14th driver, or somebody would have been 14th, but Jogal will take 13th. What a race. Wow.
Man, I feel for Moose. God, what a race for him.
Moose had a bad race. Jorge, just both drivers in the purple cars not having a good time tonight.
Yeah.
Fortunately. So, you know, you got to put it behind you. You got to just it is what it is, but a bad race for the wild cards tonight for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, our race finishing order, provisional order here. We got Wid up front, then Distinct Voidsy in second place, AMS Huge in third with a last minute pass over Super S2K, who took fourth place. In fifth place, we got VIP Doodle Bob in sixth, a higher place. In seventh, JP Scale eighth is left to pass you. Our ninth place driver will be If Looks Could Kill. In 10th, VIP Cyrus Nikki Jr. or GT rather. Jorge Sr. will be in 11th place. Moose 21 in 12th. Jogal in 13th. And S7R's Mr. Racing did not finish. Our only disconnect tonight. Boy, oh boy.
Right? What else can you say after that?
Did
What a
not
race.
go how I thought it was going to go at all.
No.
At
That
every
was
turn,
exciting.
it was. I loved it. I was super happy about that. I'm sure you guys were too. We had a lot of reasons to yell, lots of spins, man. I know we've got interviews to do soon here, if I recall correctly. We'll we'll do a quick
It
break.
should be our top three.
Yeah,
So
our
it should
top
be
three.
what? Wid, Voidsy, and Huge.
And Huge. And I'm sorry, I said we got a break. Why would we take a break right now? I don't know why I said that. It's getting late, as you can see here. It's time. Yeah, Wid won the race. Voidsy Huge. I did not expect to see Voidsy on the podium. I'm not gonna lie. I didn't see that hard tire call coming.
I
He
mean
seemed
that race really unfolded over. I mean that was quite the endurance race. You know, the what was happening in the beginning was not what was happening at the end, and that's the beauty part of
Right.
a nice long race
yeah,
with some consistent drivers is that everything can be so different. You don't typically get that pole to finish, kind of thing in an endurance race, and the strategy calls. I mean, there was so much different stuff. It kept us guessing, that's for sure.
Right.
100%. That is the beauty of endurance racing. I mean, uh, before my time, the beauty of endurance racing was simply who will last. But now that cars are pretty like stout, they're pretty reliable. It's the story of the race. Like what happened, what changed in the weather, who made what call, who had what bad luck. And this was a race with a lot of story. A lot.
A lot.
Yeah. Ooh, we got to rewatch this one. This is definitely one I'm gonna have to rewatch during the week for sure. I really enjoyed it. I love a good endurance race. I wish we could have. We need multi-class races. We need more people in these lobbies in Gran Turismo.
Oh,
Yes.
100%,
All right, Gran
110%.
Turismo 8 or whatever the next entry will be. Fingers crossed. I want to see 35, 40 people lobbies.
Oh, that would be amazing. I'm just hoping for like 20.
Can you imagine? Oh my gosh. Everything that has like a division 1 and 2 would just be one division,
Yeah,
right? 3, 4 wouldn't even exist. So,
man.
yeah. I love it. All right. We're gonna wait on our drivers to make it in. We have one. I don't know. Are we expecting Voidsy and Huge at all, or do they know to come in?
I'm
Huge
sure
is
Left to Pass You is probably communicating that right now, but I'm
have we seen
sure we
Voidsy
could
on the
probably
podium?
just start the podium interview with Wid, and if they join in, we could talk to them next.
Let's do it. Wid, teammate, you won this race. Congratulations, man. That was crazy. Staying out on the medium tire. Did you practice that? Did you know there was a possibility that the rain would stay light, or did you just see that opportunity because you were pretty far back on track?
Can you hear me?
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
Yes.
Yeah, thanks. I was just kind of looking at the radar, and the rain didn't look heavy enough to really necessitate going in for inters right away. I also knew that if we went into for inters that quickly, it would dry up pretty quick before the heavy rain came, and that you'd wear out your inters a lot. And I think that's what happened to everyone else. So also I was kind of far back, and I'm just like, well, what do I have to lose? So let's go for it.
Brilliant call.
That is a brilliant call, and sometimes that is what it is. What do I have to lose? I'm pretty far back, and you're right. That is what happened to everyone because by the
Mhm.
time you got on the inters, everyone was over halfway, like through the fronts of theirs. Like you came out, and everyone was already on the back foot to you.
Yeah.
Amazing, amazing stuff. Um, Sal, any questions for Wid?
Oh, I mean, just Wid. I mean, congrats. That was a brilliant move, putting that together, and to see you get out in the front. We saw you fall back a little bit later. What was it like? Kind of, was it deja vu coming out, and all of a sudden you and Jorge are battling again for a little bit less than a lap, and then Jorge spun out. What was your thought process when that went down?
Really, I was just kind of trying to keep it clean. It seemed like this Ferrari kind of had pace on everyone, especially like, third, fourth, and fifth gear. It just really accelerated hard. So I wasn't too worried about battling, especially how quickly I caught up. I, I mean, a little part of me was sort of grateful that he spun because we probably would have been battling for a while. So I feel bad for the guy, but like selfishly, I'm grateful, I guess.
We were debating in the booth whether or not you and Jorge might team up to try to run down AMS and maybe try to get them for once. Did that ever enter your mind?
No, I wasn't gonna bother. I kind of had a lot of pace on everyone. It seemed like,
I
especially
agree.
coming out of some of these corners, so it would have been more trouble than it was worth to work with anyone.
That's fair.
Yep. I knew you weren't going to Wid. I was like, why? Why would you work with him? It's faster. So
Yeah.
what is it that the Ferrari has? You mentioned it pulls better in third, fourth gear. We were trying to figure out what did S7R figure out about this car that made you take it at the last minute?
I mean, I don't know. It was the Truth Serum and Rusty that were testing these cars right after the update, so they found something in the Ferrari that they liked, and maybe it was that battery, because the battery kicks in right at 120 miles an hour and then turns off at 160, and right in that range is just pulling really hard on everyone. And right when the battery kicked off, I had such overspeed that I could draft up to everyone and pass them in the straights. It was really nice.
Ah, I
Impressive.
did seem to see that you guys did really well by the time you caught somebody at the end of a long straight. So yeah, that explains that. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Papa, you got anything for Wid?
Congratulations, Wid. Basically, just to reiterate, great freaking race, great strategy calls, especially on the fly like that. But honestly, I've seen you race enough that I wouldn't expect anything less from you. Just brilliant stuff, man. Congratulations again.
I appreciate it, and sorry to Moose for the punt. I wouldn't be surprised if I got a penalty for that. So yeah, appreciate it, guys.
We'll let the stewards handle that. But enjoy it
Yeah.
while you can.
Yeah,
Enjoy.
thanks.
Just in case, yeah.
All right, so now that's done. Let's talk about our next round. It's coming up on August 27th, will be Thursday's race. That is this coming Thursday. Round 5, our third and final stop in Europe, I believe. The theme will be take a joke. And I'm not going to tell you what that means, but you should if you've been checking out the VIP season guide. If you haven't, you can find it on motorsportleagues.com. Look up the VIP championship and find the season guide. It tells you everything you need to know. As a matter of fact, no, you know what? I won't even say where that race is. You guys will just see. Now, Sal, you know a little thing about jokers. Maybe you could drop a hint for the people. What does that mean? What does take a
Well,
joke?
yeah, no, I mean, I'm looking forward to this race probably more than others. If people go check out my channel, at Salamander MN, you might find some hints there on what take a joke just might mean.
Perhaps. Perhaps.
So I'll give people a little bit of a treasure hunt.
There you go.
Well, guys,
Those in like the PHG community already know, so it's like if you know, you know. But if you're not in the PHG community, come find me and you'll get a little bit of a insight into what's going to go on there. I'm really looking forward to it. So
yes, so am I. I can't wait. Two excellent races coming up just in less than 7 days here. And so far VIP has definitely been delivering for us. Before we go, I was gonna say a thing and I've already forgotten what it was. So hopefully it wasn't. Oh, that's what it was. We need you to like and subscribe. How could I forget? Hit the like button, subscribe wherever you are, wherever you're watching this right now. But certainly if you can, get over to the Upshift Media YouTube. It is Upshift Media Studios on YouTube. Like and subscribe there. And please donate to the cause. We want to do more of this. We want to put on more great productions for you guys in the sim racing world. See that QR code in the bottom left? You can use that to donate and help us pay these bills to get more of this done. So thank you, everybody. I think that's a goodbye from me, Papa.
Hey, great racing, great stuff from VIP. Left Pass, you put on some great combos again. The drivers put on some great racing. I am honored to be a part of this. Honored to be a part of the VIP League. Honored to be a part of Upshift Media. I'm so happy doing this, man. Thank you to all the viewers, subscribers, donators. You guys are awesome.
I agree with all of that. Salamander.
yeah, 100%. Reiterate everything you guys just said. I mean, what a great night. I mean, both these races were just bangers. It was really fun to watch, really fun to call. We hope everybody that's watching comes on back. If you like and subscribe, you can definitely come on back to this as we finish off this league and we transition into whatever the next league's going to be. So, good night from me. We'll see you next time. Joker out.
Joker out.
Joker out.
And Tati out. Love you all. Goodbye.
Later.